I'm just gonna play some music real quick.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you was in here yet. My bad. Let me mute up. Hey, one, don't forget the screen share the music. Oh, shit.
You said don't forget the screen share.
Yeah, but you good. You good. You already started. It's all good. My bad.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
That music sound crazy, big bro.
You said my music sound crazy.
It sounds super crazy, dog. I'm not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
gonna front.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I
I
got
know
some
you.
new.
I know you rocking that shit too over there. That's that cut too. You gotta get that right. You might as well go on screen share that song and just tuck it in the
Yeah, I'm
cut.
gonna do that. I got you.
Shout out to all the American Aborigines, man. Y'all know the vibrations, man. Hey, we about to get into an old school lecture show today. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all pen and paper. Buckle up. Strap up. Let's get it. Shout out to the gods. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. If you ain't following my new channel, make sure y'all type in Aboriginal Power. Go check out the new channel. My old channel have been deleted, so make sure y'all go, you know what I mean? Rock with your boy. Shout out to Carl Victoria. Man, I ain't seen you in a minute. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Drop them fire emojis. Share the live stream. All right? Share the live stream, man. Side J.I., what's going on? 528 hertz. 528 hertz is when the healing process, though. Man, what's going on? I'm just waiting on Big Brother to get the music right. There we go. He good. He good. Salute Drake Hobbs. You gonna play that music, big bro. You gotta share it with the sound, I think, though. I don't think you're sharing it with the sound, though, but you good. Shout out to A1. Coming to cook up some heat for you guys today. Yeah, I miss you too, brother Carl. You already know, bro. Hey, make sure you come rock with me on my new channel, man. We over there banging out every day. You know what I mean? Rocking out. So come rock with us. Me and Big Bro over there. But let's get it, man. You about to play this cut. Let's get into the vibrations. Let's set the energy right. Let go. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Let's get it. I just need y'all to drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear everything clear right now in the chat. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go.
Your ass ain't no crying now. Your man died, it been 3-4 days, still ain't sliding now. Hurry up, get that kid back for that next nigga, get fired down. Catch the IP thinking shit is time, he think it's died down. Saying my name like suicide, I see him die now. Liberal on the corner, she won't move like he in timeout. Niggas bitches, they be pleading cases, let me find out. Find him out and meet him at the county when he signed out. Boom, let that drink on her. Boom, let that drink on her. Wait, I'm shaking off these pills, I think I'm favoring her. I know what I bitch eat the cock. She gon' tell me where they at, you know how we gon' play the block. She get popped out where they gambling, but you know I'm playing smart. I'ma wait to hear this point, then I'ma sneak up by that cock. Remember that shit you said? About my bro, he did. You want chest ahead, but I want face instead. That's another spot news, headshots. All them killers shoot for free, ain't gotta pay them nothing. It's to the point I wink my eye, I ain't gotta tell them nothing. Where I'm from, we call 30 sticks, not dicks. I take that back, cause if he get caught, we gon' give it up in bands now. Who shot at me, they fans now. Snitches hanging with a snitch, we call that shit fed times. Count my glizzy and my Mac inside the party. Oh, he think he crazy, phone him tweaking off the molly. Wanna act that jam, you know he down to catch a body. It's gonna be a shootout, for sure, ain't no problem. Let's get the roof off this motherfucker. He got a gun, he's scared to shoot in this motherfucker. Don't tell me what we cannot do inside this motherfucker. I treat baby just like blood, but that's my mud brother. Then we go, I be on my dick, I be on my dick.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Y'all know the vibration.
Catch the op, he think it's shaking time, he think it's dead now. Saying my name like suicide, I see him die now. Lil' bro on the corner, she won't move like he in timeout. Niggas bitches, they be pleading cases, let me find out. Find him out and meet him at the county when he signed out. Boom, let that Drake on her. Boom, let that Drake on her. Wait, I'm shaking off these pills, I think I'm fable, huh? Wait, I'm shaking off these pills, I think I'm fable, huh?
All right, man, let's get into this shit, man. You already know what time it is, man. Peace of the gods, peace of the goddesses, peace of the god. AP is on the panel rocking with the gods. So let's get into this, man. You already know what time it is. All right. And like I said, I ain't got no contentions with flat earthers, right? But niggas gonna keep my motherfucking name out their mouth, nigga. I'm the motherfucking God. If I said it was white slaves here, nigga don't understand, come learn. See, you got too many of these niggas who, profess themselves to be scholars. But when you dealing with this Aboriginal information, we're the motherfucking teachers over here, nigga. We're the fucking teachers over here. And if you don't know something, you need to sit down and be a humble student and sit down, have your pen, have your pad ready, and learn this motherfucking information. If you don't know about something that was said, then don't go and try to do an expose on it. Come and try to seek try to seek information on it to see whether or not what we saying if it substantiates. And as far as the Pan Africans, same thing with them. It ain't nothing changed. They think they slaves. All you niggas think y'all were slaves. And we've been showing you for years you can't be a fucking slave. The people who telling you slaves are the people who were slaves. And they're hiding themselves from being fucking slaves. And then telling you that you was a fucking slave, which is the most ridiculous shit that I've ever heard when you have information to validate and substantiate what the fuck is being said. So, at the end of the day, man, like I said, we're gonna get into this, man. Shots fired, of course. Anybody got any contention about anything I'm saying, you can hit me up at AUTOAMARU, AUTOAMARU at AOL.com, and I'll put it up on the screen if you guys want to hit me up or whatever. But at the end of the day, this shit, as far as niggas challenging information that they don't know about, you don't know about the information, then you need to get with the people who saying what they saying. So with that being said, AP, you got something you want to say before we get into this?
Nah, man. You said about full, man. You pretty much cleared it up. When it comes to this can you hear me?
Your mic ain't muted, AP.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? No, can y'all hear me? Mic check. Drop everybody in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, that's that nigga A1.
Give me 1 second.
A1, get it together.
Can y'all hear me? Press one if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you, and they can hear me. You can't hear me. You understand what I'm saying?
Y'all good? Y'all can hear? Okay, no doubt. All right, so like I said, at the end of the day, when it comes to this information, you know what I'm saying? I've been knew about the flat earth. I knew about that shit in 2010, 2012, niggas was talking about that shit. And all of the information that goes with it, whether it's the hollow earth or any of these other theories to the earth not being a globe, I I already been did the knowledge to it, been did the research to it. But what's more important is who my people are. That my people wasn't bought from no fucking Africa, and
Not
my
that.
people wasn't ever no freaking slaves. So that's the contention point, and that's the information that's most important to me. With the, I ain't got time to really study and worry about the shape of a fucking planet, nigga. If I can't fly outside the planet and look or see it bioptically and come up with a shape according to the shapes that we've been told. So that shit right there is like that's a nothing burger for me. But at the end of the day, peace to everybody. Peace to
Mic
everybody in the
check.
chat
Hey,
room.
A1,
You
can you hear
already
me?
know what it is. We already know how I get down. Either you love me or you fucking hate me. I could care fucking less as long as the information is being passed and being presented to the people who it need to reach. Hold on one second, fellas. All right, so I'm back. My bad. I had a phone call. But let's deal with this shit, right? Let's deal with this shit from a scholastic point of view. Let's deal with it from a common sense point of view. And let's always be critical about thinking about what these people have put out here to basically deceive us and distract us from being the original people of this landmass. So let's always understand that outside of my genealogy, I can prove I ain't got no slaves in my family. I can prove both sides of my family got two different nations on both sides. On my father's side, my father Yamasi or Yamasi or Timacoan, right? And on my mother's side, she got Anayawiya as well as what you call Creek, right? So I don't see there's no slaves in any of my lineage on both sides. All of them own on property, you know what I'm saying, on both sides, on my father's side, on my mother's side, on my father's side, and my mother's side. I see nothing dealing with no slaves, nothing dealing with anybody being brought from Africa. Family members already said we Aborigines, and that's all that need to be known. I know I'm not showing nobody my genealogy. Fuck off. Just go by what's being said. If you don't believe it, then that's that. I'm not putting my personal or my private information on the fucking screen for you fucking trolls to make a fucking lampoon of it. Even when you show it, niggas still sitting up there questioning you, asking you questions about who your family is. And like I said, as far as like, dealing with this information, if Brother Sanchez, let me say his name, right? He's good at the flat earth thing, but when you dealing with this Aboriginal nigga, you out of your league, nigga. When you dealing with this information, we are the fucking teachers of this information, and you need if I'm coming over there for flat earth, I'm not even gonna sit because I know enough about the flat earth shit to where I can do bills on it, but I don't do bills on that shit. That's a whole nother topic, right? But I know enough about it to where I can go to the people that he's going to, where he's getting the information from. I don't have to go to him. I already then went through the information or the people to where he is deriving his information from. So I already know about all that. So, but when you coming over here, dealing with this shit over here, nigga, we the gods and the goddesses of this shit, man. And you can't go through nobody else. You have to go through the Aborigines who've been teaching this shit. And that's numerous different individuals. Everybody got their own different understanding of what's going on. But for the most part, when it comes down to this information, we are the people who got the contentions. We're the people who got the information, and we are the people that you need to come and learn from to get a proper understanding of all this shit. Okay, so let's get into it. Right, we're gonna deal with the basics. Right, outside of my genealogy and outside of me knowing who I am, there are so many facts, so much evidence, and so many different contentions when you're dealing with the narrative of history that they then taught us. We see holes all in their history, and people still stand on that shit like, oh, this is what it says. This is what it said, and play these word semantics. That's how I know, like, I don't even really want to have no conversations with people who deal with that type of shit. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna put my name in no title. You're not gonna put my motherfucking my image or anything that I'm saying verbally and try to fucking clown a God and make it sing, because you was right there with me. If you wanted to build on it, you could have built on me. You don't go over there on your platform and take all and with all these motherfucking flat earthers over there who don't know nothing about what we talking about white slavery. It ain't too many motherfuckers in this community that you can go through to get an understanding on white slavery. And like I said, I stand on my own. I don't care what any other Aborigines teaching. I got my own information and I have my own information that I stand on. So whatever anybody else teaching, that's what they teaching. Don't reference what they teaching to me. I got my own information over here with who we are and what we are. So let's get into this, man. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Rocking on a Sunday morning. You already know what time. If you want a timestamp or you want this, you want to quote what I'm being said and what date it is, the video will be up. But just to know, it is June 4th, 2023. And everything I say, I fucking stand on. Peace to gods, peace to goddesses. So let's get into it. So for these clowns who don't know what the fucking term Aborigine is, because these niggas just keep on asking us, oh, what is Aborigine? And then when you go to the actual definition of it, niggas still got contentions with it. You still don't get it, right? So let's get into this. All right, so we're gonna start off from the basics, right? Let's go ahead real quick. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
When I was reading to prepare for this interview,
Let me see something. Shit don't sound like it's being. Hold up. All right. So boom. So back. This is old information. It's just for this is update information for Aborigines for dummies. And we got to go back through some of the information that been played. We got to, because motherfuckers don't get this shit, right? So why would a senator be calling people who of African descent, according to what they telling them, why would he call them Aborigine? You think he don't know what the word Aborigine means? You think he don't know the actual definition of what the word means? Why would he call some African Americans Aborigines? If he using the term, obviously he has to know what the definition of the word is, right? Y'all couldn't hear the video? Oh shit! Let me go back. Let me play it again. Hold up. Let me stop sharing. My bad. AP, I need you. I need you, bro. Shit. Let me see. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna do it like this until I get into it. So let's replay it. When I play it, I'm gonna come back to the screen. Just press 1 for me if you guys can hear it.
Use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans. You use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans. You use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans.
I've dealt with that issue. I've already, talked publicly about that.
And my purpose here today is to say that I'm very sorry, and I apologize to anyone whose feelings were hurt by my comment.
I've made very, very clear I don't know where that comment comes from.
Well, from your subconscious.
Well, I guess. I mean, it's not even a normal thing anyone would say, even if you meant something in a negative fashion. I don't know if you would pull that out. But for me personally, you can't just close down camp and stop trying to do the things that you think are right. Just because somebody, you may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition, you still got to continue to fight on and do what's best for the state in the long run. And frankly, it's going to give me the opportunity to, talk about things that I may never been able to talk about before.
You mean the bill?
Or the bill, or talk about, race relations issues, things like that. I mean, I have a freedom that a lot of people don't have because of that.
Because you use the word Aborigine.
Because I've been through the fire, and I can talk to people, I can relate to people, I can let them know what kind of person I am, and we can talk about things that sometimes have been, a little bit taboo.
So because it allowed you to reach audiences you might not otherwise have reached, do you not regret saying it?
I think it gives me some opportunities. I went and spoke to a group in the city of Birmingham. It was a city councilwoman's community meeting, probably 95% African American. And because of, things that I regret, offhand remark I should not have made.
Using the word Aborigine.
Right, offhand remark I should not have made.
Which you don't want to say.
Yeah, I know better. But what it allowed me to do, they actually listened to what I said, probably more than they would have anybody else, because they want to see, this is that guy, this is that person. And we discussed immigration, we discussed policy that deals with the county locally, and there was the ability to.
All right, like I said, the man know what the term Aborigine is. That's why he used it in reference to who we are, right? He ain't call them Indians, he called them Aborigines, right? Which have a particular meaning, which denotes to what the people was called here, right? But why did he apologize? Who made him apologize for saying it? Whatever fucking masonry group he probably part of, or whatever secret society, he probably got out his ass for that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's get into it. Let's keep it moving, right? So outside of people doing their genealogy, we have all these references and all these individuals who telling you black people was already in America. Okay? That's telling you we was already here, right? So let's see something real quick. All right, so once again, we go into the noun of the word aboriginal, right? We go into aborigine, right? So it's a person, animal, or plant that has been in a country or region from the earliest time. 1858, mistaken singular of Aborigines. 1540s, Aboriginal is considered a correct singular in English, from Latin Aborigines. Quotations, the first inhabitants. Okay, the first inhabitants, right? And you go down, they double down, boom, boom, boom. It's saying the ancestors of the Romans, right? The Romans are Moors. The ancestors of the Romans would have been from the Amaru, okay? Which is from over here. Like we keep saying, we transversed and went over there to the Mediterranean. Wasn't nobody over there when we went there. We are the people, them are our ancestors that's over there, whether or not they recognize it today or they recognize it however. You understand? So now look, what it say? Possible, a tribal name, or from or made to conform to the Latin phrase ab originally, which literally means from the beginning. Now, when you go down, yes, they have a second terminology for it, right? But then it says, you know, this is from ab, away from AB. It say rise, commencement, beginning, source, descent, lineage, or birth. Okay, be born, be descendant, receive life. All right, it's extended in 1789 to natives of countries with Europeans have colonized, especially especially an Aboriginal inhabitant of Australia. The Australian slang shortened Abo attest from 1922, right? But then when you go to Aboriginal, it tells you, right? So let's go to, because I know it's going to be some motherfuckers. Oh, he mentioned Australians, right? So let's go ahead. So Aboriginal, right? It says 1660. First, let me highlight this for the people who on the back of the slow bus, right? Aboriginal, 1660s. First, earliest, existing. Now remember, this is the adjective, right? But the noun of it is Aborigine. Only thing they changed was the suffix. The AL, the AL is what make it an adjective. The ES is what make it a noun, right? It says from earliest, existing, from the beginning, especially in reference to inhabitants of land colonized by Europeans from Aborigines. See, Aborigines, AL. The specific Australian sense is attested from 1820. Okay, so you idiots who don't get it, look, 1820. You see that? The noun meaning an original inhabitants or an Atanchan. Yours truly, Atanchan is one, right? So we can cross-reference this again. It says what? Origin, American, a noun. 1570s. Originally, one of the Aboriginal people discovered in the Western Hemisphere, which is America, because these clowns keep saying, "Oh, what's west? Oh, this ain't west, nigga. What is west of Europe and Africa? If you travel west, what's the next country or what's the next continent that's west of them lands? The Americas." Unless you don't believe in the whole compass theory, and that's a whole nother conversation we can get in later. But on the note that they're talking about transversing west of where they're leaving from, they're talking about coming to the Americas. So once again, American, 1570, originally, one of the Aboriginal people discovered in the Western Hemisphere by Europeans. Okay? It said original sense is now Native American. See, now look, the original sense is now Native American. The sense of a resident of North Africa or of European, originally British descent is from 1765. Okay? Which they then did the remix single on that as well, right? Which these people wasn't doing nothing in 1765 because they was fucking slaves. The British was Negroes, the French was Negroes, the Dutch was Negroes, the people coming from out Andalusia, which will be the Spain, Port of Gaul region, was Negroes. The people in England, Britain, Germany, all the way to Russia, all of them people was originally Negroes or copper colored people. All right, so that's that with that, right? So let's go into something else, right? So let's go into this. All right, so when you get into the term nigga, right? A matter of fact, you know what? just because we on this. Let me see something. Let's go here real quick, right? Now, these niggas always like to quote Jack Forbes, right? The use of the term Negro and Black include person of Native American ancestry in the Anglo-North America, right? It says in 1854, the California State Supreme Court sought to bar all non-Caucasians from equally citizenship and civil rights that the court stated. Sorry about that. So let's go down, right? Check this out. It says the word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include all blacks. Go figure that, right? It's saying we are in opinion that the words white, Negro, mulatto, and black person, whenever they occur in our Constitution, must be taken in a generic sense. That the word black person in the 14th section must be taken in distinguished from whites, and necessarily includes all races other than the Caucasians, right? Now understand this, right? And the point that he's making when he's saying all races other than the Caucasian, meaning mostly all melanated people. Now we know the Asians will be a form of Caucasian, but they wouldn't be directly Caucasians, right? The same thing with the Malayan, the Malay, meaning the Indians of East India. So outside of that, everywhere they talking about, whether it's in the South Pacific Islands, whether it's in America, or whether it's in Africa, and formerly where we know as Europe, because that land was inhabited by original people who was from the Americas, but these are Negro people who originally inhabited. White people are not from Europe. We're trying to figure out where the fuck are they from. They're not from there, though. They're not from there. And see, this is the problem. Most people don't have an understanding. And if you don't understand something, don't question or argue something that's being said if you don't understand what the fuck you talking about. That makes you look crazy. If you don't understand what's being said, then you asking for answers, but then you giving me your own opinion at the same time you asking me for fucking answers, right? So look, let's go down a little bit. Hold on one second. Let me see something. All right, it say insofar as the term Negro became synonymous with slave, right? It said or a civil status. It lost any specific color reference, right? And became a general term of abuse. Darker people preferably to be called Puerto as a result. It is highly likely that the Spanish also referred to slaves generally as Negroes in the Caribbean, and that the Dutch took over the same general practices, since Negro, Negar was not Dutch words and had no immediately equivalent except Swart. So when you hear Swarzy, you already know what that means. That means dark, right? But it says a Dutch French Spanish dictionary of 1639 has the following entry from Spanish Negro, Nair, Sombri, Obscure, Affaque, Brune, French Swart, Donker, Bronze, Dutch. Thus, Spanish Negro could be translated as dark or as brown, right? So let's go down a little bit, right? But I understand this. I don't agree with everything that's being said in this, right? I don't agree with everything. So just for the sake that I'm trying to be real about what's being said, I'm just reading the shit out, right? So check it out. Let's go down real quick. So check it out right here, right? It says in 1619, some 20-odd Negroes was brought to Virginia. At least 11 had names of Spanish or probably Spanish characters. Later, they was joined by Negroes and mulattoes with such names as Antonio, John Pedro. These Spanish-derived servants could well have been of part of American ancestry. Now look, American ancestry, which they don't believe these people came from no fucking Africa, which we've been showing the whole goddamn time. All right. Not saying, however, no evidence is available except that they were largely secured from a captured Spanish vessel. Okay. Now, even when you go down here, right? Look, in 1676, one Gowen, an Indian servant, acquired his freedom in Virginia. 2 decades earlier, Mahill Gowen, called a Negro, also acquired his freedom. It would appear that Negro were probably father to the Indian in this case. In 1670, the population of Virginia colony was said to be 40,000, including, now they saying 2,000 black slaves, but I'm gonna pull up an article showing you that the motherfucking the first people they brought here in 1618 was fucking white people to Virginia. All right. But however it goes, say evidence indicate that there could not have been that many Africans there. I don't agree with that. It's saying also that there were a great many American slaves or servants. Thus, the total of blacks must have included a good many of Americans, right? So let's go down right here. All right, 1698, 3 fugitive Negroes were reported in North Carolina, of whom one of an American. Similarly, a list of Negroes imported into Virginia 1710, 1718 by sea include at least 69 Indians, right? Now, go figure that, right? I mean, I don't, like I said, everything that I'm reading up here, I don't agree with all of this stuff because a lot of this stuff is, it goes with the original narrative, but then it don't go with the original narrative, right? So check it out. It says mostly from Carolina, right? It's saying likewise, a list of Negroes brought into New York from 1715, 1730 include many slaves of probable or stated American ancestry. Okay. So look, let's go here real quick. So we deal with the word nigger, right? Let me see. Oh, it's right here. Okay. The word nigger, it's a dark-skinned person of any origin in early U.S., usually with reference to American Indians. Let's hear it again. The word nigger, a dark-skinned person of any origin in early U.S., used usually with reference to American Indians. Okay, so let's continue, right? We already went to the etymology terminology of what an American is, right? Well, we go back here. So it said America, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper color races found here by Europeans, semicolon, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Now, how can they apply themselves to being a Tanchan? The only way you can be an American is by being what? An Aboriginal. You can't just change the terminology and what the traditional use of the word was originally for, just to make it just to fit your agenda. Because by them saying, oh, found here by Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America, that's to fit their agenda. Because where else they gonna go back to? They don't have nowhere else to go back to, right? And go here, 1860 census, instruction to the marshals, boom. We go here, schedule of free inhabitants. We go back here. Number 5, Indians. Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated. The families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and live in under state or territory laws exercise the rights of citizens are enumerated. In all such cases, write IND opposite their name in column 6 under the heading color. Now check this out, right? This happened later, much later. This is actually an update of this actual census record, right? Because we was the ones conducting the census, but they changed it to basically go with the narrative that Europeans been pushing this whole time, right? But understand this, right? Now, when they say boom, all right. So when you had land, right? You had land, you had these militia groups that was formed by these Europeans that was freed after 1865, right? You had militia groups that was formed that was terrorizing people in the South. Through the Terrorizing Act, people from the state or people from the state that they try to create, because we wasn't even part of it. We wasn't part of none of their jurisdiction. We became part of their jurisdiction when they said that they can offer us help against these people that keep on terrorizing us, right? So when you accepted their help, now they made you create a deed on your land. Once you create a deed on your land, now they tax you. Now you're under their jurisdiction. You're no longer Indian, and now you're classified as colored. And then it went on the Negro, then it went on the black, and then it went on the African American, right? So check this out, right? Something else I wanted to touch on real quick. All right, so boom. The Emancipation Proclamation, right? Now check this out, right? Now they changed it to fit their agenda, right? But say President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on June 1st, 1863, as a nation approached its third year of a bloody civil war. The proclamation declared that all persons held as slave within the rebellious states are and henceforward shall be free, right? It says, despite the expansion wording, the Emancipation Proclamation was limited in many ways. It applies only to states that have seceded from the United States, leaving slavery untouched. In the labor border states, it also expressly exempted parts of the Confederacy, the Southern secessionist states that had already come under the Northern control. Most important, the freedom it promised depended upon the United States military victory, right? Now check this out, right? Even when they telling you the Emancipation Proclamation, they're not mentioning what slaves they're talking about. But you niggas automatically think that a slave means a black person, right? Which we done showed you plenty fucking times what the fucking terminology means. But you niggas are trying to fit this into your agenda so you can get your motherfucking reparations or to keep on being a fucking victim. You niggas couldn't ever be fucking slaves. Okay? Now check this out, right? Once again, we got to go back down. We got to go back down here because I got a lot of videos on this shit like 8, 9 years ago. Well, not 8, 9 years, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 years ago, however you want to look at it, right? And most people don't even understand it. This is the reason why they keep asking these fucking ridiculous fucking questions. Now we're going to cross-reference this with another source, right? Now, slave. Now they say 13th century, but the other source is going to say that it's going to say something totally different, right? It says a person who is of chattel property of another, right? Let's highlight this. So again, for these idiots who come up and these niggas ain't got no published dictionaries. They have no published literature, but they can come in here and change a fucking word just to fit their agenda. Why do you niggas want to be slaves so fucking bad? Why do you want what's in it for you to be a fucking slave and keep on trying to hold us to them terminology? We ain't no motherfucking slaves. Our people wasn't ever POWs. Our people flourished all the way up into the mid 1900s. When you start getting this Brown versus Board, and before they started to create, at the creation of a lot of these deeds, which I was saying how they taxed a lot of young ancestors without their knowledge, and then they just would come up and say, all right, well, your taxes for this year is X amount of dollars. We need you to pay it. When you didn't have the money to pay it, a lot of people got booted off their land. Okay. Now I said personal chattel property of another, from Old French, enslaved, and directly from medieval Latin, scavis or slave, source in Italian, French, enslaved, Spanish, enslevo, originally Slav. Okay, now look, original Slav, right? See Slav, so used in the secondary sense because of the many Slavs sold into slavery by conquering people. Now check this out. Let's go ahead. Like I said, niggas is crazy. You want to continue to be a fucking slave, nigga? Good luck with that, nigga. And a lot of Aborigines be pushing this same shit too. This is the reason why we have a lot of contention with. And I'm not trying to conform to none of the shit that I hear other people saying or whatever. Either we're gonna be clear on the slave shit or we not gonna be clear on it. Cause some niggas saying that their ancestors were slaves. Some people saying, I mean, you have to straighten that shit out on that end and really do some real investigative research to see whether or not that's true or not. I don't agree with that. But however it go, let's continue, right? So it says, look, and this is once again, this is this article. And shout out to Nadi because this is an excellent article, man. He slid this my way right here when we was dealing with the white slavery. So definitely shout out to the brother for passing the source on, right? So the forgotten white slaves, right? The forgotten white slaves, nigga. Okay? The forgotten white slaves and the ignored history of slavery worldwide, right? Check this out. The story of slavery is more complicated than you've been told. Did you know that up to 1,250,000 white slaves were shipped to North Africa? Did you know a fifth of the United States government in 1797 budget was paid in tribute to North African Muslim? Now, they're not North Africa. North Africa was called Barbary. That continent wasn't even called Africa. And it's not limited to Muslims. Nations to free and stop enslaving what they call America. These people wasn't no fucking Americans. These people were Slavics that was being taken back and forth to Europe, right? So I say, did you know that the Ottoman Empire enslaved millions of Europeans? Did you know that slavery was more common in ancient Britain, that the Anglo-Saxon word Briton was used interchangeably for slaves? Okay? For slaves. Now look, let's go now. Now they ain't talking about no fucking Africans here, okay? They're not talking about no goddamn Africans, but you niggas want to be slaves so fucking bad. Now look, this is 1641. This is from Direct Spat. Hold on for a second. That's my father too. Hold on, I'm gonna have to call him back. From Direct Spat enslaved April 1641, selling with 120 passengers from Ireland to England. His story is but one of the estimated 7 million white slaves taken to the Barbary Coast or to the Ottoman Empire. Now, what happened to them people? Oh, they was mixing in with them people. That these people, a lot of their lineage of the people who were slaves are now the people that you call the Middle Easterns. These are amalgamated people. The so-called Arabs that you niggas be claiming, oh, the Middle Eastern people, them are not no autochthons of this planet. Them people are Aboriginal men who mixed with these Slavic women. They created a whole race of fucking people. Now, do we have to pull up what a motherfucking, do we have to pull up what a Middle Eastern look like? A Middle Eastern motherfucker look just like a Puerto Rican, a Hispanic, or a fucking Mexican. They don't look no different from them. And these people are amalgamated people. But let's continue, man, because I know AP he has something, so I can mute my mic once he come on. Let me just touch on this part right here, right? So look, this is how you cross-reference and use your fucking brain, okay? This is how you cross-reference shit and use your brain and come to an understanding. Not, oh, this source says we were slaves, and you niggas is still fighting all this time to continue to be slaves, right? Now say almost every civilization possessed slaves, meaning what? Well, hold up. I get into that. Mostly every civilization possessed slaves. Now I know A1, so that must mean they talk about African and black slaves. No, we're going to get into it, right? The enslaved others. The English word slave, okay? Now, remember, listen, Pan-Africans and some of you flat earthers who are part of the motherfucking code. And I'm not disrespecting people who flat, because I know a lot of y'all brothers and sisters that's on the panel or that's part of the subscription that come join these platforms. You deal with the flat earth too, okay? But I'm talking about in particular to the niggas who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, so don't take none of this shit personal because it's not directed at any of people who rock with me. But it is also directed at a lot of Aborigines that go on them platforms because, you know, like I said, I'm the god over here. I see all these new Aborigines that just came around who obviously you don't know who the fuck I am, and y'all letting niggas talk about me on a motherfucking panel like I'm some fucking clown or some joker, and not have my back just to get clout from a nigga who a flat earther. And I've been holding you niggas down for fucking years before a lot of these motherfuckers who popped up that's in the community now. I've been holding this shit down. I mean, with the exception to my brother A1, my brother
Nigga, you
Ab,
will.
I mean, to my brother AP, my brother Ab TV, Empress Holbert, my brother Chief Holiday,
Jaguar,
brother Jaguar Omek. You know what I'm saying? I even give credence to Dan Calloway. I give credence to Curry Davis. I give credence to Phoenix Moon. We ain't giving no credence to motherfucking Two Hawk and motherfucking Turtle Boy. We're not giving no credence to them clowns, because them niggas think that they Native Americans. They run around here dressed up. You ain't never seen your grandmother dressed up in none of this Native American. Your grandma said she was an Indian. So why she don't dress like an Indian? Because obviously we had to be different fucking people, and the culture that you're trying to, these costumes that you niggas be putting on, our ancestors ain't never wear none of that ridiculous shit. We ain't never wear none of that. Your grandma said she was an Indian. Okay, so she should have some evidence of her Indian garb that looks something like these Native Americans. You can't find that. None of you ain't never seen none of your grandmothers come in the house with no motherfucking war bomb. Maybe we wore feather crowns. We also use feathers. I'm not going to say that. But at the end of the day, your direct ancestors who claim that they Aboriginal, you ain't never seen them dress up like that. They dressed up with normal clothes. The elderly women wore the gowns. The Negroes wore certain ties, motherfucking brims, etc. You already know what time it is, right? So look, listen to this, right? Listen to this, right? Now, be more curious to why a person's saying this. Now, these niggas want to stay slaves so bad that the first thing gonna come in their mind, oh, now white people saying that they slaves so they can get reparations, so they can get, this is the reason why white people, no. They saying that they slaves because they really was slaves, nigga. They really was slaves. And when you see the term slave without an ethnicity in front of it, then you gotta always assume these Slavic people. But you niggas automatically jump into the fight. Oh no, my ancestors were slaves. I know we were slaves. I know the white man told us that they enslaved us. And you got brothers like me, AP, and a lot of other brothers out here who putting this information showing you that you weren't slaves, and you niggas are fighting tooth and nail to continue to be called a fucking terminology, which is an ethnicity group of people, what we call white people or we call pale people. Because it's just not, it's limited to all of them. All Europeans were Slavics. All of them. It doesn't separate none of them from being this. Now, the English word slave derived from the enslavement of the Slavic people. A1, what does a Slavic look like these days, right? Hold on for a second. Hold up. Hold on 1 second. Oh, man, you cherry picking. Them ain't Slavic people. We're slaves. We're slaves. Nah, money grip. Nah, nigga. This is, and a lot of these niggas who talk against this shit, they integrationists. So they want to try to, you don't mind your people being slaves, but you want to fight for Europeans and say that they wasn't slaves. You don't mind your people being slaves. You don't mind these ridiculous stories. Oh, they was cutting babies out of stomach. They was tying one leg to a horse and tying the other leg to a horse and splitting the nigga in fucking half. They was whipping the nigga unconsciously. Are you serious? You niggas is fighting. You niggas fighting to be that. You can't trust these people's stories that they put out here. You can't trust no history. All history is fucking tainted. It's tainted and it's contaminated. So when I hear people like 1870s, no, you can't even say that, because how Europeans have have all the history so locked in that they can give you absolute dates and we can believe this shit like it really happened. They burnt all of our records, all of our books. The books that they didn't burn, they put down at the bottom of the fucking Vatican. And they got underground in a lot of these municipalities and these Hall of Records, when you go down to the basement, they got the mots down there. But it's just so much literature to read. You need a team of people to go down there. I've seen this shit. You need a team of people to go down there and help you research this shit. Because it's just too many. I done been down there and had like fucking 8-9 books open, screenshot and shit. Like, and it's like, yo, it's just too much. It's too much documentation for one individual to do. And there's too many different states and too many different counties within the states that have a lot of our records in there. So let's continue, right? So these are Slavic people, right? Now look, they don't look no different from any European. They all look consistent to me. But that's only for the Western nah, nigga. Nah. Look at this. They even telling you you niggas is fighting to be slaves. You niggas fighting it tooth and nail. The origins of the Slavic people. There is some debate among historians about where the Slavs originated. Look, they even telling you where they originated from.
Facts.
They even question it, but you stupid ass Pan-Africans and you rest of you fucking tinfoil hat wearing motherfuckers is running around here trying to protect these people and trying to make sure that terminology stays on our fucking people. We're not fucking slaves, you fucking morons. Unless the condition of the mother is the condition of the child. Unless the slave owner, who was a Negro, who mixed in with one of these Slavic women and didn't emancipate his children. That's the reason. The reason. AP, real quick? Let me read this real quick. And what we was talking about yesterday of the reason why these people was mad. Can we get into a little bit of that real quick? Oh, my bad. Sister Betty, too. Sister Betty, she out there doing the real work. So I'm sorry about that, Sister Betty. And anybody else that I didn't mention, I'm not doing it on purpose because there's a lot of brothers and sisters who even don't have a channel that comes up and drop great information. So definitely respectfully to all my Aboriginal, my Black Indians, my Indians, respectfully to everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And Top Cat too. It's my brother too, man. So you know what I'm saying? Definitely gotta put out all the brothers who I fuck with.
Shout out to all of them. We got love for everybody. Even the ones we don't know and respectfully don't know. You know what I'm saying? We got love for them. We'll go all the way out for y'all. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, right? So look, the origins of the Slavic people. There is some debate among historians. Why is historians debating the origin of the Slavic people? Why are they debating this? If they know that they came from Europe and it's a fucking fact that they came from Europe, why is they debating it? Because they're not from there. So look, there are some debates among historians about where Slavic originated. Now, one of these niggas that come up here like, where you getting that source from? Instead of doing a research. They want to double down and take the concentration off of the Slavic people to say, well, where that source at? Oh, they lying. Come on, man. Like, you niggas ain't no researchers. You niggas are motherfucking slaves of a mental death. You niggas are 85ers. You niggas are poison animal eaters, man, who don't know who the true and living God is, nor the origins of the world, and easily be led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right. So once again, there's some debate. Why are they debating where the Slavic people are from? Where the Slavs originated from. Many believes that they were early farmers who cultivated the fertile lands around the Black Sea. That's a lie. Others believe that not. So these niggas don't even agree. They don't even agree. And they got other stories that it's not even consistent with the shit that one person's saying. Others believe that they came from present-day Eastern Poland. Now listen, it's saying they are one of the largest ethnic groups in Europe today. All Europeans are Slavics, brother. All Europeans are Slavic. Europeans are not indigenous to Germany. They're not indigenous to Britain. They're not indigenous to Port of Gaul, right? They're not indigenous to Al-Andalusia, which will be a surrounding area or part of. The fuck is that? I'm bad. Hold up. They're not indigenous to none of them groups of people, and all these people are the same. And like I said, you niggas deal with DNA. Wouldn't all Europeans have the same DNA? Oh, well, if they came from Poland, Poland got a different DNA from people in Switzerland. Shut the fuck up. All of these are demarcation lines in countries that's created. It's all on the same goddamn landmass. But these people then came up and said, all right, well, we're going to take a DNA sample from a Poland. We're going to take a DNA sample from a Sweden. We're going to take a DNA sample from all. And then they category all these different groups as saying, well, all right, Poland is a made-up name. Switzerland is a made-up name. And all these other European towns or countries with these demarcation lines and these borders that was created by man. Ultimately, they all are on the same goddamn landmass. So they all should have the same goddamn DNA. It should not be no separate DNA for a person in Polish and Switzerland when they look exactly. Well, what part of their DNA separates them? You fucking morons, right? But nonetheless, though, AP.
I'm right here, big bro.
All right, that conversation we had yesterday about when the Slavs, like when we get it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Mic check. The conversation we were saying last of how we got in the situation we was in, dealing with the mulattoes and dealing with a lot of these niggas. Some of these Slavs were melanated because they had an Aboriginal father. So you got mulattoes fighting to free their ancestors. Their mother's still enslaved on the plantation, and they have a Aboriginal father who didn't emancipate them. Wouldn't they be mad at the Aborigines who was running shit?
Absolutely, they would probably lean more.
And this is one of the reasons. Go ahead, my bad.
No, my bad. I said they would just probably lean more towards the paternal side. That's all.
Exactly. So, you know, like I said, these people cannot create no narrative to how history was or what took place when these people was enslaved. They went back and rewrote a whole history and wrote them people in it and wrote you out of it and gave you the worst part of the goddamn story. And these niggas is sitting up here fighting with niggas who putting this information out. They fighting with motherfucker. Oh, no. So you see white people being bought slaves here. What problem do you have with that? Oh, you interfering with our reparation. Nigga, I don't need a I need a redress of grievances. I need a redress of grievances for me being designated as color, Negro, Black, and African American and told my people came from another country when my people are originally from here. So that's a whole nother conversation that we could get into some other time. But do yourself a favor, share the video, like the video, and if you like to donate, you already know where to go. But definitely, like I said, a lot of this information is some heavyweight shit and stuff that need to be we need to go back over, because a lot of people have all these contentions and they don't truly understand. So let's go into something else. You got something you got to say, AP, or you got something you want to share?
Nah, you rocking it out, bro. You good. It's a heavyweight now right now. You rock out. Right now.
All right, so once again, and this is from the 1860 census, Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated. Now look, so the Indians that are taxed, then they was to be enumerated. Now let's check it out. Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated, right? The families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state and territory laws. How do they get under state and territory laws? Because the KKK and these militia groups was running wild in the fucking South, and a lot of people down there, they had these agents from the government going to these people's houses, and they was telling them, look, we can protect you if you just sign this deed, and just so we can keep track of where your land is at, right? So in the process of you doing that, that's when they started to tax you. That's when they started to declare you color, because the families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state and territory laws exercise the rights of citizens, United States citizens. The Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated are not United States citizens. All right. Oh, hey, AP, hold it down, because this is my father real quick. He probably got something important. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick.
No, you're right though, man. We gotta understand. Even when you get into the origin of the word Slav or Slavic, right? We know that that's pertaining to motherfucking white people. So, and like what like I asked the question. So, what is history in America? White people the only people that own slaves? Because people say they won't debate the black slave owner. Are you saying white people are the only people that own slaves in America? That black people was prohibited from owning slaves? Like, make that make sense. You understand? Shout out to everybody that's in the building, though. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the CHIEFAUTOCHTHON. You understand me? I'm over here multitasking. You understand? I'll be at my computer in a second, so don't trip. Hey, but hey, one rocking out though. He got some shit for you guys. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. How about y'all support my brother? You know what I mean? For dropping these heats. His cash up at the bottom of the screen, man. Support my brother.
And look, see niggas like Shy One, you could put this. These niggas are ignorant. They're ignoring the information that's being presented to them, and they not even trying to process this shit and say, well, wait a minute, man. These niggas is lying to us, bro. They are lying to us. They not even being sincere about that. To say that, okay, the narrative that's being pushed to us is not the truth. So if the narrative that's being pushed to you is not the truth, and you're getting all your documentation from these people, then how can you say you standing on the fucking truth? How are you standing on the goddamn truth when the documentation that you getting is coming from people who's fucking lying about all the history and trying to hide the fact that their ancestors was the only goddamn slaves here? Okay? Now, let's continue, right? All right, so hold up. Let's go here. Hold up for a second. You know what? Let me see something. All right, we good now. All right, so let's go back into this, right? And this is actually the PowerPoint that not a coincidence got the 3 rounds ass whooping, and 96% of the vote went to yours truly, to God, and 4% of the vote went to that clown ass nigga, right? And the rest of you niggas who run around here who don't understand and can't even be sincere about knowing that these people are lying to us, brother. They're lying to us. And the documentation that you're pulling up, you're not even using any critical thinking or understanding exactly what's going on, right? So hold up real quick. Let me see something. All right. So look, matter of fact, you know what? We don't need to go into that. We'll go into that later on. All right. So just understand that, right? So a lot of you niggas got contentions with copper color, right? Now, copper color, right? This is an actual dictionary, okay? If you niggas ain't got no dictionary, I don't want to hear the shit you making up out your motherfucking mouth, nigga. Okay, or what copper color is, right? So copper color is burnish, copper, rust, brownish, reddish brown, chestnut, rustic, tan, metallic brown, and reddish tan. Okay? Now, when you get into copper color, these are some of the different so these are some of the copper colors that's available with I just read right here, right? Burnish, copper, rust, brownish, right? Reddish brown, chestnut. We all know what what color a fucking chestnut is, right? Rustic, tan, metallic brown, reddish tan. Okay? Some more colors of what copper is, you motherfucking morons. This is what the color copper is, nigga. Why you nigga? Oh, just because you're copper don't mean that it was people who look like us here. We're gonna get into that, right? So look, here go your organization, nigga. The NAACP, nigga. Okay, the NAACP. Now remember this. Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated. The families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state or territory laws exercise the rights of citizens are to be enumerated. In such cases, right? IND later, they later blocked out IND and just kept these people as colored. They no longer recognize them as being Aborigines, right? So here go one of the organizations that was made for the colored people, the NAACP. Now, out of all the people you see within this photo right here, right? You guys gonna have to probably hit your screen up to really see it or whatever, right? Matter of fact, you know what? Maybe I can tap into it. So look, these are all the people who was classified as fucking colored, my dude. Do you see any? You see two white people right here, right? This brother right here could be a mulatto, right? But with the exception to everybody else we're saying, I don't see no people who look like Native Americans in this picture. No people who look like Native Americans. So the Indians who would have lost their tribal rule and that was classified as color will be in this picture some goddamn way. Oh, you're cherry picking. This is not real. This is not. I don't go by how real scholars do real research, right? Because all of it is fucking fake. The peer review articles that are biased, that are part of what? The general education system, right? All of that shit is part of the same goddamn thing, right? And even when we go into the research terms, right? We go into these joints, right? And the education system that you niggas want to be part of, or you niggas claim you're part of, was all created, nigga. Your everything that you've been taught has been downloaded into your goddamn brain like you some goddamn robot. And if you think outside of the lines that was taught to you, then it's pseudo. Oh no, that's not real. That's not a methodology. They created a methodology, you fucking morons. And here go some of the steps in the methodology, right? Cross-referencing, right? The instance within a document which refers to related information, right? Everywhere in the same document, right? It's saying printing on and online dictionaries, cross-references are important because they form a network structure of relations existing between different parts of data. Okay? Deciphering to find the meaning or something that is difficult to read or understand. See, you niggas don't, this is what you niggas is not doing. This is the reason why it's difficult for you to read or understand that Negroes here was not no fucking slaves, my dude. The slaves are white people. And then we also have other agents who Negroes who are saying that Negroes is also slaves who also got paid off. And when you have evidence of this through the eugenics, through all of the talented 10 and all of these other Negroes that was pushing this shit or whatever, you find out who they was being supplied by, right? Who was funding these people, right? Which I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get into the origins of white supremacy. That's gonna definitely be a pay-per-view, which I'm gonna do within the next 2 weeks, right? So let's continue, right? So now let me skip over this. All right, so once again, we back here. We back revisiting this for these idiots who don't understand that everything that they read, you have to cross-reference that, and you have to decode and decipher, and you have to critical think on it, right? So the 1920 Rockefeller goal to mold you hasn't changed, right? So this is what these niggas is saying to you, right? We shall not try to make any of these people. Now, this is the school system that we send our kids to, that we was part of, and that a lot of these niggas who referencing scholarship, methodology. These people created all them ley lines, and you conform to them without even using critical thinking, without using your common goddamn sense to know when you niggas been had. So I know a lot of you niggas have been beat for money. You niggas have been flim flam because you niggas ain't got no common goddamn sense. Or you don't have no intuition. Because even when you ain't got common sense, at some point in time, your intuition will kick in and be like, yo, nah, you know what? Regardless of how much I may hate Aboriginals, these brothers got some real research that I have to sit here and consider. Because this shit that they teaching us, why haven't they put this in it? Why haven't they told you that the word slave come from white people? Why haven't they told you that millions of them was shipped and sent to the West? Why haven't they told you that? Why haven't they told you that? Okay. We shall not try to make any of these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning or of science. We have not to raise up from them authors, editors, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor shall we cherish even the humbler ambition to rise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we have ample supply of. The task we set. Now they got a task. Now they say they set a task to permanently docile you motherfuckers, right? Let's continue, right? It's saying the task we set before ourselves is very simple as well as a very beautiful one. So it's beautiful to have you docile and mislead you. And now look, it says to train these people, to train you like you a goddamn animal, like you a chimpanzee. Come on, boo-boo, climb this ladder right here. Or like you training your goddamn pit bull or your Rockwell or your motherfucking French bulldog or your Shar-Pei, whatever them little fucking dogs is, right? That I see everybody with, right? Like you training him, right? This how these niggas, they want to train you, and you niggas, it worked out perfectly for them because you niggas are trained. And even when you see the truth, you don't know how to say, well, wait a minute, man. I've never heard this nowhere. They're not presenting this stuff. So obviously they have an agenda and they're hiding the agenda of what's being pushed, right? So the task we set before ourselves is very simple as well as a very beautiful one. To train these people as we find them in a perfectly ideal life, just where they are. Now I'm gonna get further into this shit, man, when I do the Origins of White Supremacy bill or whatever, and it's going to go all the way into the motherfucking schools in the South. Okay, it's going to go all the way. It's going to reach all the way there, and how they train the people in the South. Okay, so let's go back into this joint here, right? So here we have. Here we have the NAACP, right? And here we have all of the people, a group of people who posed for this actual picture, right? But in this actual picture, we see Europeans and we see what we call Negroes or melanated or copper colored people, right? We don't see no Native Americans. We don't see none of these people. The only people we see are Negroes. Now, if you can separate the fact that they told you that Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated in the family of Indians who renounce their tribal rule and who are under state and territory laws. Now, I know smoke signal in the chat room. This is what I was trying to explain to you yesterday, brother. That paperwork that we got, that basically our families that was once Indians who have renounced their tribal rule, who are now under state and territory laws, exercise the rights of citizens. So their paperwork allow you to exercise the rights of citizens. That allows you to get welfare, SSI, WIC, all of that shit. All of it. But you can get the same goddamn thing as an Aborigine. I'm not saying that you should be utilizing any of these benefits from these people. You shouldn't be utilizing any of these benefits. And that's the reason why they allow all Aborigines or so-called Indians to go to school for free. Indians can go to school for free because they want them to be docile. They want to mold their minds. They want them to go into these animal husband training schools. And you niggas is some good trained Negroes. I must give y'all props, man. Y'all some good trained Negroes, brother. And these people have done a great job of you fighting against your own people. Even when you do see the truth, you still ignore the truth and you still go back into the same ridiculous, retarded African stories that we've been told. We're not Africa. America is the Americans or the Amarukans are the greatest people that ever walked the face of this fucking planet. We're the greatest fucking people. All of what? Right? These like little shit like this what makes me curious, right? This is the little shit. The Americas had long before Columbus large cities built of stone, brick, wood, with walled ditches, temples, and palaces, some of which was the immense size of population. One of them was Altalum near Plinkway, was 28 miles long, equal to Thebes in Babylon, or Kenoji, Kenai, in size and monuments. Nearly all of the ancient sciences and youthful primitive arts were known in America, as well as commerce and navigation, the symbolic and alphabet and writing, nearly all the Asiatic religions, right? It says the most civilized nation had even colleges and universities, canals, paved roads, splendid temples, and monuments. Show me some of that shit in Africa before the white man or the Chinese. Y'all begging the Chinese to come over there to build motherfucking trains and run fucking electricity. Y'all begging the Chinese right now, nigga. The Africans that's from over there don't even go back and help their people. Yeah, they'll send them a box of fucking toilet tissue or send them some fucking Lucky Charms or some shit that's in America, but they ain't going over there helping their people. You got places in Africa right now who don't got paved fucking roads, nigga. They say even the most civilized nation in the Americas long before Columbus had colleges and universities. So where did they get these ideas from? Over here. All of this shit starts in the Americas. All of it starts here. So let's continue, man. Now, the fact, you know what? Let me hold it down for a second. All right, we got 155 up in the building, man. Hit that like button, share the video out. And if you like to donate to the channel, you already know where to go. AP, you still with me? What we got going on? I'm ignorant. Cali Doughboy. How the fuck am I ignorant? Now, I'm using my motherfucking brain, nigga. Because I got 3 college degrees and I ain't never learned none of this shit in school, nigga. You niggas want to talk about scholarship and all this shit, nigga. I sat in them institutions, nigga. I went to a university, so I'm not just some YouTube fucking scholar. I'm a motherfucker who actually research. And I actually use my mind on what these people is hiding. The shit that they hiding more than likely is the shit that they don't want you to know. But I'm ignorant. No, you niggas are ignorant. You niggas think you fucking slaves. You niggas think you slaves, nigga. Africa ain't got nothing on the great Americans or the great Amaru, nigga. So y'all can have that fucking place. So if you niggas want to be slaves, great. And some of the flat earthers, y'all want to be slaves, great. I have no problem with that, nigga. My ancestors didn't suffer that circumstance. We've been free. You're still free. You may be a mental slave, but once you take the mental block off of the information that they teaching you, and they want you to use their so-called education and research guidelines in order to tell you that you a fucking slave, even when you see evidence of other things, right? You niggas is fucking clowns, my dude. You niggas is clowns and you niggas is jokes. I'm going. Has 2489. You niggas is going. You niggas think y'all Africans, nigga. You can't prove outside of that phony ass fucking DNA test, nigga. Now look, y'all want to go there? Y'all want to go down the DNA paradigm? Let's go there. And let's also revisit this, right? How the eugenics begun, right? During the 1870s and 1880s, discussion of human improvement and the ideology of scientific racism became increasingly common. So-called experts, the experts that you niggas be reciting, right? The so-called experts determined individuals and groups of people to be either superior or inferior. They believed biologically and behavior characteristics was fixed and unchangeable and placed individuals, populations, and nations inside of that heredity. So which one is you? You niggas are inferior. You niggas are inferior, my dude. You niggas are inferior. And we're superior, nigga. We're superior. All the sciences, all the inventions was made by our people. Ain't no Africans contribute to nothing. You can't talk about their pyramids because, oh shit, we got more pyramids than they got. And they just found 60 other thousand structures. So show me, what do I have to look forward to looking at Africa? A bunch of primitive people. And the funny shit is, you niggas don't never bring up these motherfuckers with these plates in their lips and these bones in their noses. You niggas don't never bring these people up. And the people that you niggas are references are savages. These niggas is shitting in rivers. These niggas is eating hearts. Yo, my dude, eating rat, yo. The niggas who y'all niggas want to be part and pro-cell are savages. My ancestors had science from 09 here long, way before the any Africans had it. The only reason why Africa has anything right now, because the European that stole all of our inventions and created curriculums and created a lot of these universities, allowed these Africans who are docile, right, and who they deem inferior and feeble-minded people, right, to come to their universities and learn. That's the only reason why Africa got what it got now, nigga. Don't go to no we don't want to talk about Egypt. We don't want to talk about no Egypt. We don't want to talk about no primitive ass West Africa, nigga. We don't want to talk about that, nigga. We had towns and civilizations over here, nigga. Real shit. Not no dirt. Motherfucker got a hut in a lot full of dirt. Nigga, we had paved roads. We had bricks. We had all of this shit. And you niggas are breaching. You're fighting to stay slaves. You're fighting to keep the transatlantic slave trade alive, right? You're fighting that your people been oppressed here. Yeah, your people was oppressed at a certain time. We must agree on that. But a lot of that shit is from us acquiescing and us not fucking physically fighting back the way we supposed to. So understand that, right? So once again, all you Pan-Africans, right? These are your fucking teachers, the Eugenic Society, my dude. These are your fucking teachers, nigga. These are Francis Galton and the rest of the clowns. It's a whole list of other names and other organizations that go along with this shit. But just know that this is what these people had in mind when they was teaching you clowns, right? During the 1870s and 1880s, discussion of human improvement and the ideology of scientific racism begun increasingly common. So-called expert determined individuals and groups of people to be either superior or inferior. The guys over here, the guys in the chat room, the guy AP, and the rest of the guys and goddesses that's going to be checking this build out, they're going to deem themselves to be superior. You Pan-Africans who fighting in the chat room saying all this ridiculous shit, you niggas are mentally inferior. You niggas is not even on our level. So I don't even know why you in the fucking chat room. They believe biologically and behavior characteristics were fixed. I'm starting to believe that too. That the biological and behavior characteristics of you clowns are fixed, and it's fixed via way of eugenics and unchangeable, and place individual populations and nations inside of a heredity. So let's continue, man. You niggas want to talk about fucking DNA? Let's go. Let's once again go down that paradigm, right? And like I said, shout out to everybody else who talk about the DNA and who got research to show and prove that DNA is not absolute. So I don't know why you niggas keep on reciting, oh, did you do your DNA? Nah, DNA ain't absolute, nigga. It's not absolute. And you niggas who sitting on the fucking couch or probably sitting outside doing whatever the fuck you doing, you niggas are reciting motherfuckers who they will tell you, scientists are telling you that this shit is not absolute. And you niggas are fighting because you know what? The last thing a nigga could do is admit when they've been had or they've been duped. That's the worst thing, man. The worst thing is admitting, yeah, that nigga got me, man. They got us good, bro. They got us good, man. They really got us, bro. That's the last thing you niggas want to admit. The how the eugenics and how the general education system that wanted you to stay feeble-minded and docile, they got y'all. They got y'all arguing with your own brothers and sisters. Though you could have been found out that you was an American Aborigine, but you niggas want to be an African. You niggas, the only thing Africa got is them fucking primitive ass spirituality systems. You ain't got no science. You ain't got no architecture. You ain't got no great civilization. You have none of that. So peace to the gods, man. So look, I'm only gonna bring this one up. We just did a build on this shit a couple weeks ago, but this is gonna be kind of a compact build of a little bit of everything. So let's continue, right? So DNA ancestry tests are meaningless for your historical genealogy search. So historical will be going back over 400 years. Going back over 100 years, nigga, will be historical. Okay? So let's continue. For you clowns, right? Now look, they got this right up under the picture highlighted, right? Look. All humans share large amounts of DNA, which means individual ancestry tests can't reliably trace your genealogy very far without other evidence. You fucking clowns. Now check this out. Genealogy tracking has become big business. Thanks to you Pan-Africans. Thank y'all for helping these people get rich. You niggas is helping these people get rich. And then when you do see articles of other scientists telling you that this shit is not absolute, oh man, they lying. This scientist who spent his whole life, who probably got 3 PhDs, who been studying this shit and probably know more about this shit than you know, you're going to tell him that he's a fucking liar just so you can continue to be this fucking African slave and to be a fucking slave. The niggas is ridiculous. But anyway, anywho, right? Genealogy tracking has become big business thanks to you fucking Pan-African and you African Americans. They're really laughing at you niggas. I hope you know that, right? With many companies charging up to $300 to trace your DNA to a specific historical figure or ethnic group in the distant past by analyzing ancestry tests. Now look, this is when the shit, this is when you should be curious, right? You should not be standing on this shit. You should not be standing on it the way y'all niggas standing on it, right? Because a group of scientists now offer a public warning that these ancestry tests has little scientific backing and are often unreliable and inaccurate, that they amount to genetic astrology. Now you argue with the group of scientists that's saying this. Don't argue with A1. A1 smart enough to say, oh, a group of scientists is not agreeing with this. I need to hear what they're saying. I don't need to keep on fighting or trying to make it seem like, oh, this shit work. We already know it's not absolute. So any nigga who pushing and saying that this shit is absolute is a goddamn clown at this point in time, right? Let's go to another one. Look. Say eugenics and scientific racism. You niggas, the gig been up, man. The gig been up. It been up, nigga. It been up. Look, hold up. Let me see something real quick. All right, it says the big picture. Eugenics and scientifically inaccurate theories that humans can be improved through selective breeding or populations. Eugenics believe that a prejudice, and incorrect understanding of Mendelian genetics that claim abstract human qualities, e.g., intelligence and social behavior we inherited in a simple fashion. Similarly, that believe complex diseases and disorders were silently the outcome of the genetics inherited. Now, check this out, right? A lot of people, when you go to the doctor, right? Oh, you got high blood pressure because it's hereditary. That's bullshit, nigga. If you change your diet and not eat the same thing your ancestors have, you would not have motherfucking high blood pressure, diabetes, or some of these other related illnesses that you're getting because of the practices that you take under your family. Nothing is hereditary. Everything can be reversed too. Quote me on that, right? The implementation of eugenic practices has caused widespread harm, particularly to populations that are being marginalized. You niggas are being marginalized. Eugenics is not a fringe movement starting in the late 1800s. Leaders of intellectual worldwide perpetuated eugenics beliefs and policies based on common racism and xenophobic attitudes. Many of these beliefs and policies still exist in the United States today, you fucking clowns. The genome community. Now look, we can it's gonna talk about the human genome experiment coming from eugenics. That created the DNA shit. So if this is what they talking about the eugenics and the human genome system came from the eugenics, which was propagated by Bill Gates' father, which he was a eugenics, Martin Sager, and the rest of them individuals who was all, by say, part of the KKK. The genome community continue to work to scientifically debunk eugenics myths and combat modern day manifestation of eugenics and scientific race. What do you think scientific racism is? Scientific racism is this: telling you that you a fucking slave, nigga. This is scientific racism. Telling you that your people was fucking slaves, my dude. When we know that that can't be true. Two things can't be true at the same goddamn time. Especially when these people who know that they are the original slaves, and we got evidence of millions of them coming to America, but yet they place, oh, these was indentured servants. No, they are the only slaves. And they try to change that up, put the indentured servants on them, and then give you the Slavic term, and you niggas accept that shit. Oh, one day we gonna get reparations. So what A1 saying we definitely can't go with. We trying to get reparations as being African slaves brought here on the bottom of a boat while people was urinating, shitting, pissing, motherfucker probably was throwing up. That would create some type of biological atrocity that would definitely be a outspread, right? That would be an outspread amongst even the people that's living in the conditions of the boat. And you can't say that they cleaned it up because guess what? That shit would have soaked in the wood. And the wood would have became contaminated. So you niggas believe in fucking myths, my dude. All of this shit ain't nothing but a fucking myth, right? So where was I at? I think I was here. Oh, that's just another article. I don't even need to go there. Let me see something. Now check this out. Look, let's go to this article right here. You freaking clowns. And this is from Scientific American. I think I gave y'all all this link the last time I went over this shit, right? So, genetic ancestry testing is an inexact science, nigga. They clowning you niggas. An inexact science. So in this article, they say it's inexact science, right? In this article, it says a group of scientists now offer a public warning that these ancestry tests have little scientific backing and are often unreliable and inaccurate. But you niggas will fight. Let's argue against the scientists who's actually doing the actual data and the research themselves. You niggas is sitting home reading their articles. You reading their articles. You deriving your information from them. And here it is, they tell stupid is, stupid fucking does, right? Where was I at? I think I was right here. Oh no, I wasn't. I was right here. Let me see what's going on in the chat room real quick, man.
Yeah, man. You got 192 in the building, man. A1 is going in. How about y'all support them? Cash out information at the bottom of the screen, man. It's a good heavyweight jam. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit that like button, man. What's going on, man? Slaves of the mental death in here. We got one of them. Want to see?
Yeah, how many of us is laughing at them? So hold on, hey, Shy One, I'm gonna make you famous today, brother. Look, it say so it was impossible for black slaves to be. Look how you arguing this shit, AP. Look, you're gonna be famous today, Shy One. Listen to this, right? Look, so it was possible. It was impossible for black people to be slaves because of their conditions, but then he turned around and say that white people who was brought here over as slaves, what? No, he said, what math is that, A1? Now, you know what math it is? Because we had the science, nigga. We created bleach. We created baking soda. We created, what's the other cleaning, what's the name? Ammonia. We created all that. Turpentine, all of that. So we would have had the science to keep these conditions habitable and keep them safe. The Europeans didn't have that science. The gods did. So we was able to bring these people over here. Money grip. Anybody else?
Yeah, nigga, pine soil. What y'all using? Wet rocks and smoke to clean yourself. Cut it out.
And they still using that today. Today, nigga. I just got finished coming from. I was just in the gym with an African working out next to me. That nigga smelled like 50 men. He smelled like 50 men, nigga.
Mini men.
50 men, nigga.
He smelled like mini men.
Yeah, nigga. You know what deodorant is, nigga? You know what soap is? Oh, we invented soap and deodorant too. God damn, my bad. We invented that too, right? You stupid motherfucker. You nigga running around here thinking y'all Africans. Oh, that's simple rap math right there, Sean.
Yeah, they want to be accepted with some savages, man.
And look, what do you think about this? Look, genetic ancestry testing is an inexact science. Now they created a task force for you motherfuckers who believe this shit, right?
Jeez.
They created a task force, right? It's saying store-based distribution of genetic health tests remains stalled pending federal review. Genetic ancestry tests are also drawing widespread concerns from experts. Not Garfield, not Onk, not you niggas in the chat room, not the rest of you fucking Pan-Africans, Dr. Reggie, Jabari, and the rest of you fucking clowns who believe in this shit. They're telling you from experts that they're concerned about this shit, right? Now listen, the task force commissioned by an American Society for Human Genetics and was led by Charmaine Royal. Take her name down, nigga. Okay, of the Institute for Genome Science and Policies at Duke University, has called for better research and reporting in both academia and public genetic ancestry testing, nigga. Now look, these niggas don't believe you. Look, some 40 companies, right? Some 40 companies, nigga, that you niggas is all making rich. You niggas work, I don't know how much y'all make an hour, but $300, I don't know. I'm hard pressed to realize that the majority of people do not make $300 a day. I'm not saying there ain't some people who do, right? I'm not saying there ain't some people who do make $300 a day, right? But there's some people who don't. So there's some people who got to work 2 or 3 days to get this $300 ancestry test just for these niggas to lie to you and tell you that you're from these primitive people when in fact you from the American gods. Now I don't believe no Africans came here. I don't believe none of them came here. And in a minute I'm gonna show you why. But let's continue, right? So it says some 40 companies currently offer personal genetic ancestry tests, but results and interpretations are troubling variable the task force found. The very concept of ancestry is subject to misunderstanding in both the general and scientific communities. The task force member wrote, scientists who research population histories have trouble sorting out definitive answers about geographical origins and ancient migrations, and they generally work with larger and more statistical weighty samples rather than the data from a single individual. Although database bases of references, genetic sequences are growing rapidly, many of the major studies have been done from the Human Genetic Diversity Panel with about, no, I'm sorry, with only about 1,100 genetic samples from across the globe, which means that's even much of the vented academia. Let me move that down. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. All right. So what was I? Shit. All right. I'm gonna start right here. The Human Genetic Diversity Panel, with only about 1,100 genetic samples from across the globe, which means that even much of the vented academia work of human ancestry is still far from conclusive, meaning it's not absolute. It's not absolute, you goddamn idiots. And you niggas up, oh, did you do your genealogy? Now let's read, right? It said for most individual genetic ancestry tests hold the promise of pinpointing where the ancestry came from. You African Americans, right? Unfortunately, though, for you African Americans, science have not yet caught up to this expect. I'm sorry, I got a little bit over myself. Let me start that again. For most individual genetic ancestry tests hold the promise of pinpointing where the ancestor came from. Unfortunately, Pan-Africans and African Americans, science has not caught up to the expectations and sometimes promise levels of precision. The estimates of geographical ancestry origins are based on basal ancestry population for instance, Northern Europe, Asia, Africa, and North America. However, as the task force reports Arthur pointed out, most of these genetic population maps are actual based on best estimate of original population because we do not have the ability to sample ancestry population. So how the fuck is you telling me you from 7 different goddamn countries in Africa? How? Now listen to this, you fucking clowns. Listen to this. And I'm sorry for the cursing, but y'all already know how I get down. Y'all already know how I get down. Instead, proxy populations has been used. So these niggas is using pseudoscience to connect you back to some fucking people that you say from Africa. And connecting you back to a hominid, what we call Lucy, right? Now listen to this, right? Now, even in this, they broke it down. Listen to this, right? Instead, proxy populations has been used, including the Yoruba people of Western Africa, to represent most African American ancestry. AP, what did I just read, bro? Still with me, AP? I don't know if AP with me, but I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, I'm here.
You good? Hold up real quick.
What, you got to get into some monkey DNA?
No, we just went over. Look, listen to this, right? So, all right, I'm gonna start from the top. Let's go back. All right, so it say, however, as the task force reported, authors pointed out, most of the genetic population maps are based on best estimate. So a best estimate is not absolute, nigga, or original populations, right? Of the original populations, because we do not have the ability to sample ancestry population. Instead, proxy populations has been used. Now look, Listen to shout out to King Cash for being the moron that he is. And shout out to Not a Coincidence and the rest of the people, right, who support this shit, right? Including the Yoruba people of Western Africa to represent most African American ancestry. So even if an individual ancestor did hail from somewhere in Western Africa, if their particular lineage as captured in their sample does not match up with the reference sequences, some tests will turn up with no family ties. Okay. So I'm like, look, man, I don't even need to go. Like, I can go where I got a bunch of different sources up here that's telling me that this shit ain't right and exact, right? You see another one, Pan Africans. You want to see another one? DNA ancestry test, mostly hype, scientist says. Oh, A1 lying. He don't understand what they saying. I understand exactly what they saying, nigga. They had to create a fucking task force to help you fucking docile, mentally challenged, and mentally slaves or mental slaves, right? They had to create an actual task force to help you niggas. With that, we trying to help y'all too. But you niggas want to stay slaves. You want to continue to, I can do my DNA. They can test me with a goddamn hominid. Them hominid people are not us, brother. Humans been on the planet before these hominid even walked the fucking planet. So I don't give a fuck about no all these terminologies that these people create and then try to tie your ancestor to a fucking monkey to fit you into eugenics. Because that's what eugenics is based off of. Lucia is a hominid, which she would be a fucking primate. And they still telling you, you still believe in Darwin theory. Oh, the oldest bone they found is of a hominid. So why haven't they found more hominids? Why have they only found one motherfucking hominid in Africa? Where's the rest of them at? There should be millions of them. Where's the rest of them at? Because they making this shit up. And you niggas who put all your eggs in one basket and you research all this fake ass Pan-African shit, and you niggas run around here and tell other people, oh, look, this is research right here. Because you pulling up an article, but you're not pulling up nobody who's in opposition to it. And the person who do oppose to the information that you presenting, you sit there and write them off like, oh, no, they pseudo. But this person's an actual scientist. And you's a motherfucking bum, or you some clown ass nigga who are observing this from a fucking computer screen. These people is actually in the fucking field, but you arguing against them just to make your point. The gig is up, Money Grip. The gig been up, bro. We know who we are. We know who y'all not, and now y'all know exactly who we not. We're not slaves. We're not Africans, nigga. So understand that, right? So several companies now claim that for as little as $100 and a swab in the inner cheek, they can reveal a person's family tree or ancestry home. But more than a dozen, nigga, look, here go some more scientists, right, to back up what we've been telling you fucking clowns. It's not absolute, nigga. So if it's not absolute, then don't reference it. Because you don't know what part of the test is not absolute. You assuming that if the whole test is not absolute, then the whole test is garbage. Because you don't know what part of it is real and what part of it's fake. So what part of the test is not absolute? Oh, it's this part right here. You don't know that, nigga. The whole test is garbage, nigga. Several companies now claim that for as little as $100 and a swab in the inner cheek, they can reveal a person, family tree, and ancestry homeland. But more than a dozen scientists from various backgrounds says such recreation genetic or vanity test has significant scientific limitations and rely on misconceptions about race and genetics. Okay? Boom. They go 3 articles for y'all. Let's move on to something else.
You gave them 3 of them things.
I got 8 of them up there. So it's like, at the end of the day, my dude, y'all niggas talking about what methodology did you use? We use the sock over the head methodology, nigga. And we're going to bring Homie the Clown out. You're going to be real you're gonna get real acquainted with homie the clown hitting you in the fucking head with a fucking sock, you nigga. There you go, right there. Well, that's shot one. That's Lucky Guzman. Definitely that's that clown Chris Harris. This nigga Sean P. Punk ass nigga, right? And the rest of you niggas, Lex Vortex, and the rest of you fucking losers who come over here and lose debates on a regular and then run around. Oh, I still won. I know I still won, nigga. That's you have your expectations a little too high, Money Grip, because you still saying you lost despite the fact that people say. I mean, you still saying you won despite the fact people saying that you lost miserably. You lost very bad, my dude. Very bad. It's not our fault that you niggas ain't got enough Pan-Africans and the real Pan-Africans don't even fuck with y'all niggas. Not a coincidence, a peon compared to Garfield. They don't even fuck with y'all niggas, man. King Kaz, and they don't fuck with none of y'all niggas, man. They don't fuck with none of y'all niggas, my dude. And if they did, then you should have bought some of them people over here to help you get a motherfucking W. And if you didn't, then that's not our fucking fault.
Kaz's own people was disrespecting him when he debated Tyron. They was disrespecting the shit out of King Kaz. His own people.
Listen, Shy One, the motherfucking build is up, nigga, and you read the comments. Outside of him,
I don't argue with Shy One because he don't debates. He just the neighborhood troll.
Yeah, you is kind of trolling, Shy One. You do be trolling, my
cheerleaders don't get to get on the court and get in action. So he's, you know what I mean?
You nigga, you is a kind of a troll, my dude. Real talk, my dude. You a fucking troll. And you the worst type of troll, right? So let's go further into this, right? So show the NAACP, the people who was classified as colored according to them. Here go some more images of the NAACP people that participate in that so-called social group. And look at them. None of these motherfuckers look like none of these Native Americans, my dude. They look like the copper color Aborigines that was already found here. That's exactly who they look like, right? So let's continue, right? Here go some more individuals who participated in that so-called social propaganda campaign that people still reference today, right? All right. So once again, not a coincidence. If you're in the chat room, this is going to be something real familiar of information that was presented to you on that debate that definitely helped me get the win. But I'm gonna get the win because the ancestors. I got the ancestors with me, so it don't even matter, right? So this is from an actual entomologist, as well as a historian, right? And as well as an archaeologist, right? So the Negro type is seen in most of the ancient Mexican sculptures. The Negro figure frequently in most remote traditions of some American Pablo is to this race doubtingly belongs to the most ancient skeletons, distinctive from the red American race, which has been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico. It is likely we repeat America was a Negro continent. Now, for him to say that with all of these different ethnicities that's supposed to be here, he's reaching, right? A1, this is just a meme. This is just a meme. I don't believe. Where's the source for this at? Where's the source where you getting this from? Carlos Chavez Marquez in studio of Uruguay. I can't pronounce that shit, but we can go into the English translation of it, right? This is what his book is: The Archaeology and Ethnographic Studies. That's the name of his book, right? Go through that. Once again, the source comes from that. I got it because I seen that meme first, right? I seen that meme first, right? But right here, number 16, and this is the 103 amazing facts about the American Negro, about the Negro, right? It says number 16 on the presence of the Negro in America. Now, this is by J. Rogers, who after he made the first 5 black presidents, they wiped that nigga out. They took that nigga off the count for the information that he was putting out there, right? It says on the presence of the Negro in America before Columbus. Marquez says the Negro type is seen in most ancient Mexican sculptures. The Negro figuratively frequent in most remote traditions of some American Pablo. It is to this race doubtlessly belongs to the most ancient skeletons and of very distinct structures of the two of the red American races, which has been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico. Okay? And even when you go down here, right? This is another good source for you clowns, right? This is R.B. Dixon. This is called Racial History of Mankind. And I think I actually got this slide up here, right? It's called Racial History of Mankind, right? And these are the pages in which he goes in. It's 400, 401, 409, 441, 449. Dixon put emphasis. So he's putting emphasis on it. It's saying the fact that there was an early Negro strand in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Central American Indians. Okay? Columbus says he wanted to find out what the Indians had told him, that they had come. No, I'm sorry. Let me read that shit again. That shit kind of reading funny. So Columbus says he wanted to find out what the Indians had told him, that there had come to it from the South and Southeast, Negro people. So here go three sources telling you it was already Negroes in America, and one source just made an elaborate. He said America was a Negro continent, nigga. Oh no, them Africans that was born here. Nah, money grip, and no Mexicans, no Africans, nigga. Africa is primitive. It don't have that science, nigga, over there. Or whatever. You ain't got no pyramids nowhere where you niggas reside at. You ain't got, the only towns you niggas got is the town that the Europeans came in and built, that they got from us in America. But you niggas don't want to claim to be them Indians. I mean, I'm not them Indians, to be them Africans. The nigga with the bones in the noses, plates in the lips, the motherfucker eating rats, eating hearts, and shitting in the river. Like, y'all don't want to be them type of Africans. Y'all keep promoting to us that Africa is some great, luxurious place. And even the nigga who said that y'all had math had a fucking bamboo bone in it with it. I mean, a baboon bone with 29 lines in it. And he's talking about this shit is a calculator. This nigga said it's a fucking calculator. I asked him, I'm like, yo, what's that? He said, oh, it's like a calculator, you know. It's like and he pulls up a fucking baboon bone with 29 lines in it and talking about this is a mathematical instrument that we was using. Nigga, if you don't sit your ass down, nigga, like you on detention, nigga, for making that claim in the classroom, nigga. Nigga, matter of fact, you won't be on detention for the rest of the motherfucking year for saying that stupid shit, right? So let's continue, man. Hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. Nigga pulled up a calculator, nigga. Hey, Hodge 2485. I don't know who you are, brother, but you in deep water over here with the God, my dude. If all this information that I'm presenting is some pseudo shit, and you don't have the brain to say, well, damn, you know what? Everything he's reading, it can't be fake. I'm not, all of this stuff I'm reading, all this sources and all this shit I'm pulling up, all of this shit is fake. You niggas don't want to agree with none of this shit? You don't want to agree with none of it, right? Very well. Let's continue. Peace to gods, peace to goddesses, man. Yeah, these people are fucking bozos.
Make sure you hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, thumb up the damn video, man. We going in.
They niggas are bozos, the clown, nigga. And you're going to get tracked down by homie the clown. So this is the actual book in which J. Rogers referenced that is made by Carlos Chavez Marquez. So we went from a meme, right? That's how you do research, you guys. Just in case you niggas, we went from a meme that was created by Johnny Aborigine, right? To actually tracking down the original source on where he got it from or who put the information out there that came from J.A. Rogers' book, the 100 amazing, whatever, y'all already know what it is, right? But then we go down and we find the actual book with research. We research the actual book. We take the actual pages and translate them from Spanish to English. And it says the same thing. Oh, that's a meme, A199. I'm a little bit more crafty than that, right? These are the actual pages I'm not even gonna read, right? But what he did say was from where? He said, what's the so-called cities or towns? He says been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico, right? All right. So these are people from Bolivia. Nigga, look at these. Oh, them were slaves. Them were slaves. So why the fuck is they saying that these people was already there and that this continent was a Negro continent? Why is they saying that? Oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Look, these are people from Bolivia, nigga. Look just like us. Look just like us. Look at this nigga in the middle right here. You know he don't belong there. But then they going back according to eugenics and say, oh, your people came from Africa. Your people came from Africa. And then they try to double down and say, well, they was from here. I mean, they was here before Columbus came here, but they're still from Africa because the eugenics created all black people came from Africa, no matter where they at. No matter if we find these motherfuckers in a cave 200 years from now, we're going to still say that they all originated in Africa. When we already know that it was Negroes on every continent, even the 29 continents that Admiral Byrd claimed he's talking about for you flat earthers, right? Even the 29 continents, even Antarctica, that's connected to South America or connected to the Americas. All right, so look, that's Bolivia, and this is Mexico. And this is Mexico. Okay? Okay? It's your boy right here, James Chatter. Once again, this is your boy James Chatter holding up the skull of Naya that he found. Right?
How many other bones came along with that?
With Naya or Luzia?
Naya. Just
Well, Luzia, they had 81 skulls. It was 39 men or women and 41 men or women. I can't remember exactly what the group was. It was male or female, but it was 81 skulls that they found with Luzia in actual Brazil. And we got other records of black people in Brazil at the time that these people claimed they came here. When they claimed they came here, they were still taking Negroes, or claimed that they was taking Negroes from here to Seville, which I don't even believe that, because if you taking them to Seville, Spain, at that point in time, Seville was still called Andalusia. It was still being ran by Negroes. It wasn't ran by no Spanish people or the people who you assume that was over there. When they say they kicked the Moors, I know they kicked the Moors out that didn't want to convert to their other Moorish brothers' religion, which would have been the Catholics, which they would have been Negroes too. So when they tell you, oh, we kicked all the Moors out, and now it's just white people inhabiting Europe, how could they do that?
That's a fake story.
It's a fake story. If they was there for 700 years, they would have been fucking all them women.
Warhol School said that movie is not real, brother. The movie is not real.
It's not real. You niggas is, and like I said, man, look, man, let's get into this, man. Once again, man. Like I said, a lot of this is old news, man. You know, I'm just a Sunday morning, man. Just came from the gym. You know what I'm saying? Went food shopping, man. Just, you know, had a couple cups of coffee. And now we into this shit right here. Now I'm gonna deal with a lot of these niggas that be out here running their motherfucking mouth. Cause like I said, I got PhDs, I got doctors, I got all types of scholars who email me. And some of them question it, but the majority of them is like, great work. I gotta definitely kind of like do more research to, you know what I'm saying, to understand exactly what's going on. But a lot of them be like, great work. And only these Pan-Africans and some of these flat earthers. And like I said, not all of y'all who deal with the flat earth. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about Brother Sanchez and the niggas who was on his fucking panel.
Somebody said that dude holding that skull didn't have no gloves on, my boy.
He did, because they already did. They don't do DNA. Now look, they saying DNA, But James Tyler didn't use a DNA test. He used craniology to come up with what he's saying. The same thing with R.B. Dixon. They didn't use no DNA. They used craniology. Or craniology pseudo. Bones don't last longer than man, get the fuck out of here, my dude. These bones are 12,000 years. But let's get into it. Let's go further anyway, right? Once again, right? Now, when you hear somebody say this, you should be curious. You shouldn't just be combative and just arguing a point immediately. You should be curious when another expert is saying this. Not a coincidence. I don't know what he do for a living. Not King Cass. I don't know what he do for a living. Not YK the Truth. I don't know what he do for a living. Garfield, etc. I don't know what you niggas do for a living, but ain't none of you niggas scientists. None of you niggas are scientists. None of you niggas are craniology. And even Q Butter with the pseudoscience. Shout out to the young ones that he is teaching. So I definitely give him credence. I give him definitely respect him for doing that. But even the science that he using, that he teaching these children, came from eugenics and came from the general education system. You have no scientific methodology that you created. You using a scientific methodology that comes from eugenics, and they already told you that it was racist. So let's continue, right? Once again, we go back down here, right? Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, man. Hit that like button, share the video out, and if you like to donate, you already know where it's at. But let's get with this shit, right? But there lies a puzzle. Now, this is from the article, the Smithsonian article that I just showed you, right? In this case, you want to see the top, because not a coincidence is a retard. And this nigga and the rest of these niggas is retards, and they don't seem to understand this. This is coming via a fucking, let's get into it, all right? But there lies a puzzle. Modern Native Americans closely modern. Do we need to look the word modern up? For you slow niggas on the back of the slow bus. He's distinguishing between two at this point in time. He's saying modern. Modern Native Americans closely resemble people of China, Korea, and Japan. Which we can say the original people of China, the original people of Korea and Japan was people who probably was pushed into the South Pacific region. And these hybrids that you assume to be Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese, who probably was genetically created from our ancestors. Oh, that's pseudoscience. That's pseudoscience, man. Listen, my dude. All of these scientists and all these European scholars is talking about this shit. You niggas is the only niggas stuck on stupid. You haven't updated your information. You haven't. You haven't. So once again, but there lies a puzzle. Modern Native American, modern mean new. Modern Native American closely resemble people of China, Korea, and Japan. But the oldest American skeletons does not. So who would be the oldest American skeletons? Pan-Africans? What would they look like? What would they look like? And guess what? A1 ain't say this. An actual archaeologist, paleontologist named James Chatter, and he is lead on the study and the owner of Applied Paleoscience, a research consulting service based in Bethel, Washington, right? So let's continue, right? Now, this is what he's saying. I'm not saying none of this shit. This is what he's saying. And I'm using common sense. I'm cross-referencing this because we have other people saying the same goddamn thing. Carlos Chavez Marquez did not know James Chatter. He did not know Richard Neves or these other individuals who doing this. And he's saying the same thing. But let's continue, right? Let's get into it. Hit that like button, man. Share the video out once again, man. So let's continue, right? The small numbers of early American specimens discovered so far have smaller and shorter faces and larger and narrower skulls than later Native Americans, right? Than later Native Americans, you niggas who keep saying we Native Americans, right? More closely resembling the people of Africa, Australia, and the South Pacific Rim. This has led to speculation that perhaps the first Americans and Native, now they say the first Americans. So, AP, what would the first Americans be called? I don't know where AP at, but I'm gonna help y'all out. First Americans would be called what? Aborigines. Person, plant, or person, animal, or plant that has been in the country or region from the earliest times. This is why we keep telling you clowns, we're not Native Americans, you goddamn idiots. So let's get back into it, right? Okay. So once again, the smaller number of earlier American specimens discovered so far have smaller and shorter faces and larger and narrower skulls than later Native Americans, most closely resembling the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific. Now look, even when we tell these people, oh, you know, the people here, they was copper color, they was oh, they don't look like black people. Nigga, they said African, Australian, and South Pacific Islanders. Now, do we need to look at some of these people? Yeah, we do, because you niggas is slow. But anyway, let's go into some of these people. So these are your modern day Africans, you idiots. So if one of these people that's in the picture was already in America, wouldn't that make him look like one of them? He don't have to be an African. It only means he resembles. He's trying to cross-reference or give a comparison to what the first Americans look like. This is why we call ourselves Aborigines. And it breaks down to what part of the Americas was you at. If you was in Virginia, you'd be Pamunkey, Powhatan, or whatever nation that your family was connected to. If you was in Massachusetts, we already know. And shout out to Two-Hawk for running around and that fake ass Native American garb with dirt on his chest. Yeah, he commented in one of my videos talking about don't use the word nigga. You ain't no the real Narragansett nigga is living in the projects, nigga, and living in townhouses and living in these communities.
You have no Indian blood, Narragansett.
Yeah. The real Narragansett nigga is classified as African American, nigga, and you not helping your people. You want to get down there with these mixed group of people while the real Aborigines is being classified as colored, being killed down on the fucking street. And this is the reason why the nigga Hemok had a problem with him. Because you niggas is propagandizing the wrong fucking people. The real people who Narragansett or what we call Wampanoag or Wampanoag and Narragansett, whatever the other tribe. Y'all already know, right? But however it go, right? The real people who are descendants of them are living in state and territory regions. And now they are classified according to whatever terminology that they put on these token Negroes that work for them, who you think got some power, but he works for them behind the scenes. They probably put a fucking dog collar on and a leash and walk that nigga. You don't know what they doing to this clown, but we know how it look good when they coming up with any of these political propaganda stories or whatever. But so they pay a nigga Jesse Jackson, which allegedly, according to Steve Coakley, has something to do with Martin Luther King getting killed. Allegedly, right? And you niggas took that terminology, you freaking clowns, and you run up here trying to box with the God. Can't do it, bro. So here we got South Pacific Islands, my dude. Right? I'm sorry. That's an Australian woman right there, right? This would be the South Pacific Islands. No, matter of fact, these are Australians. These are the South Pacific Islands, right? So these are the Australians, right? Now, I ain't gonna lie, man. Australians got a unique look to them, bro. Now, I mean, they have a unique look to them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't entirely, I mean, even though that they still look like niggas, right? Fuck.
They look a little different, boss.
Hold up, something just happened.
Yeah,
Let me see
this
something real quick.
might be a real live Davinian, Denisovian or something. You understand me? That might be a real Denisovian in real life, not extinct.
Hold on one second.
But they from Nayland though. They not from Africa, and you can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? See, that's what y'all missing. They not from
Exactly.
Africa.
Yep. They damn sure not. Let me see something. Hold on. What the fuck did I just do? I
Yeah,
just did
like my
something.
boy Hawkeye said. You know what I mean? That's what they try to misclassify as a Neanderthal. You see what I'm saying? They just regular old people from Australia.
Yup. Hold on one second. Let me turn my other computer off because this shit just did some goofy shit. But you want to build on something real quick while I'm doing this?
Go ahead, do your thing, bro. I'm just waiting. I'm just in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like peroxide, bubbling up, dog. I ain't doing nothing.
All right, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to fix this shit later. I don't know what the fuck just happened to my goddamn other screen. Hold up for a second. All right, let's come back in here. All right. Yeah, I mean, but listen, when he gave the reference to the skulls that he found here, he gave you three different groups of what we call black people: Africans, South Pacific Islanders, and Australians. Meaning that he wasn't even clear on who these people was. But he's saying that they have a melanated or Negro origin. You understand what I'm saying? That's why he used all these different fucking groups of people that all
have
equals
melanated Negro origins, right?
exactly. That's why he using them. He ain't saying that they all was here. He's saying that the oldest Americans resemble Africans, Australians, and South Pacific Islanders. He don't know which one of them they resemble. But you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, well, technically we don't really look like none of these people, except maybe the South Pacific Islanders. We don't look like no Africans. So understand that, right?
We don't look like Australians,
Exactly.
for real, for real.
Exactly. So let's go back. Hold up. Section 1, section 2. Oh, I can do it like that. So let me see something. Oh no, I can't. Hold up. Let me stop sharing for a second. All right, man. Hit that like button, man. Share the video out. If you like to donate, you already know where the information is located at. So let's get back into this. All right, so where was we at? Oh, I gotta close this one out. All right, I bet there you go. All right, so let's get back into this. All right, the next. This is from that R.B. Dixon source that I just showed, right? And this is the introduction. This is I just put this one up there. I didn't want to go through the whole book, but this is from R.B. Dixon. This is racial and what the fuck was the name of the book? Racial History by R.B. Dixon, right? All right. So when we go down right here, it say we can, however, be confident that as the North, the Caspian type is far and away the most important one of, I can't pronounce that word. Don't even ask me, right? Whereas the whatever, can't pronounce that word neither, right? It's saying the Proto-Negro largely outnumbers the Proto-Australian, at least in two of the most important series. those from the Lagoa Santa in Brazil, which we just talked. Matter of fact, now we about to talk about that now, and the Palatacalo in Ecuador, right? It says now the Negro presence of a strong proto-Negroid factor among the people, right? So these are the ones he mentioned in Brazil. This is the actual expert. I'm not the expert. I'm just a person who doing the observation. Okay, I'm observing. This is the methodology that I'm using. I'm observing. This is the first step to the scientific method. I'm using observation, right? So through the observation, we find sources, right? And once again, they go to source, right? So it said a set of bones from the skeletons in the Brazilian prehistoric made up of 42 men and 39 women, with an age estimated or dated at between 7,500 and 11,000 years. Challenges, okay, challenges, meaning that they ain't agreeing with their contemporaries, but you niggas are agreeing with them. And you ain't even agreeing with your contemporaries, which would be us, right? You agreeing with them, the people who's against them challenging their already fixed narrative, right? So it's a 7,500 to 11,000 years. Challenges the most accepted theory about the first inhabitants of the New World. The skulls from the region in the Minas Gerais indicate that the original discoverers of America had like Lucia features that recalled those of present-day Aborigines of Australia's or blacks of Africa. Okay? It goes some more images of what they saying. Now look, they threw the little twist and locks in his head like that. I guess whoever put the hair on Lucia, they were smart. They made sure that they put hair on them that looked like us, right? So once again, it's your boy Jack Forbes. This is the image that's in Jack Forbes' book. And these are Inca emperors. This is the father, and these are two of the sons. These are the people that they found in fucking Peru. Look. Oh, that's not a black man. Let's do his DNA. Well, they already said DNA don't work, stupid. So we ain't doing no DNA test. We using observation. This is the methodology we using. Observation right now, right? So these are people that they said was in Peru. That's why he's on the cover of the fucking book. And they got this picture in, I believe, I think the British Museum or the Spanish Museum. Shout out to Monty Bay, right? So we don't need to go further. I mean, I got some more archaeology shit up there. We don't really need to go into that. But just for
like little Uzi Vert is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just too much evidence outside of niggas doing their genealogy and realizing who the fuck their people is. And then you find other literature that's saying that Negroes are already in America, because that's the $1 million question. That's the question that supposed to be put, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be, we supposed to say that with emphasis. You know what I'm saying? It was already Negroes in America, bro. Not just in Central America, because Central America was part of Florida, and that's part of North America. We was in most of the warmer climates. Okay? Just in case if you care, let's see. All right, so even with the fact of what we just read, right? So these niggas saying, oh, they died off, right? So the people who look like Lucia right here, right? The people who look like her, according to history and according to how a lot of these niggas want to conform, oh, they died off. They wasn't here in contact. Well, let's see. Okay, this is from Jack Forbes' book again, right? The possibility that Native Americans was quite commonly called Negroes is very much supported by the Portuguese usage. During the colonial period, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negroes or as Negro deterrers, Negroes of the land. Now, this is after contact, you fucking idiots. Outside of niggas telling you, yeah, my grandmother said I was this, boom, here go my genealogy showing you I wasn't no slaves, and here go more information showing you that we was already here. So it ain't just the fact of what people family told them, the fact that the evidence tells you this. But you niggas would debate all these articles and all this research and all these resources that I put up here. You niggas will come and put your own genetic, mentally slave ass spin on the information that's being presented. Okay, so we don't need to go through this, but just in case, boom, boom, let's deal with this one again. Another article. Cranial morphology of early Americans from the Lagar Santa, Brazilian implications for the settlement of the New World. This is by Walter A. Neve, and this is by Mark Hughes. Now, this ain't by not a coincidence, Shot One, Lucky, or any of these other clowns, Garfield, or any of them other niggas over there who don't want to have a sit down with us. These niggas just want to keep talking about religion, because they know that they can beat them on a debate with them. They want to keep talking to the Hebrew Israelite. They don't nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. They don't want to have these conversations. And go check out American God Part 2. Definitely you'll get some understanding to the science that we had in the Americas that is independently separate from the primitive science that you see with the 29 line bamboo bone, that not a coincidence presented. We show you that we had the science from 09. We had astronomy, cosmology, civics. We wrote the Constitution, etc. Okay? Do we need to go into that? We wrote the Constitution. Do we need to go into that? I don't think we need to go into that. I don't think so, but let's stay here, right? All right, so it's saying comparison morphology studies, the earliest human skeletons of the New World have shown that whereas the late prehistoric, recent, the present Native Americans tend to exhibit a cranial morphology similar to late and modern Northern Asia, right? So now I say the present, nigga, the ones that they showing you, right? It's saying short and wide neurocranian. It's saying high and orthognathic and broad faces, and relatively high and narrow orbit or noses, right? Now, this is how they determining a Negro from all other people, because the high and the narrow orbit around the nose, right? The earliest South Americans I'm sorry. It says the South Americans tend to be more similar to present day Australians, Melanesians, and Sub-Saharan Africans, right? So when you go back down to the article, he doubles down on it, right? So increasingly skeleton evidence. This is the abstract. So any of you motherfuckers who want to deal with scholastically sparring or scholastic articles, nigga, this is from the abstract, right? Increasingly skeleton evidence from the USA, Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil strongly suggest that the first settlers in the Americas had cranial morphology distance from that displays by the most late and modern Native Americans. The Paleo-American morphology pattern is more generalized and can be seen today amongst Africans, Australians, and Melanesians, okay? So the first bones that they found, once again, we have another scientist that's saying that the oldest bones that they found in America looks just like the people I just showed you, right? And then I don't even want to. This is another article right here. We don't even really need to go into this, but it says the same goddamn thing, right? This is another article. That's the title of the article. Boom, boom, boom. Journal of Human Evolution 48, 2005. It's saying a new early Holocene human skeleton from Brazil, implications for settlements of the New World. Here go your authors: William Walter A. Neves, Mark Hebers, etc. Right. So you go down this article. It is now known that the cranial morphology of the first humans who entered the continent was very different from the pattern prevailing in the later times and currently in the America and East Asia. Those findings suggest that the New World has been colonized by two very different biological populations. Both, now they saying both coming from Egypt, which I kind of can go there, but I'm not going to go there because I don't want to throw the Lemuria thing into it, but I can if I need to or whatever. But we can skip over that, right? However, right? Because check this out. It's saying the New World has been colonized by two very different biological populations, both coming from Asia, one exhibiting a cranial morphology, I'm blocking a word, more similar to that of the modern humans and still maintained in Africa and the Austro-Melanesians today. And another exhibiting a very distinct morphology known as the Mongols in the classic literature. So he's I got you. All right. So, I mean, like, what more? What we need to see more evidence? We need more evidence because motherfuckers still don't get it. This is showing you in. Here go the article. A monthly record of anthropology science, right? Published under the direct directions of the Royal Anthropology Institute of Great Britain and Ireland, right? I said recent papers in journal of Brixton, Trevor, and Julian. Man, this is written in 1938, and I guess this is like the 47th edition of it. It say implies that an undeformed Negro physical type inhabited the Virgin Islands in pre-Columbian times. I don't need to go no further. Before Columbus, nigga, it was already people in the fucking in the Caribbean, nigga. I'm not even going no further with this shit. If you niggas don't understand it by this time. Okay? Let me see something. We could cruise through this real quick. Let me see. Let's cruise. We could cruise through this right here. Well, this is another. Hold up. Hold on 1 second, people. All right. This is another article. I don't need to get into this shit right here. Pretty much the same thing. Get stored in there just for the hell of it. Like another article were blacks the first settlers in the Western Hemisphere, which we already know. We run through some types of what these Aborigines look like today, right? Went through this Chief Costco. I guess that's his passing. This is a picture of Chief Castle with a feather crown on and a motherfucking three-piece suit, nigga. Looking crazy sharp. And I like that. I definitely rock the feather crown with the motherfucking suit or whatever, even if you got some casual gear on, right? Here go some more images of the people, right? Now, with the exception of her, which you could tell she's a mixture, right? Everybody else we see in this goddamn picture are fucking niggas, man. Even here, they got some of these individuals, but the majority of people in this picture is what we consider to be Negroes. Same thing here, same tribe, same group of people. All right. We going to the what fucking tribe? My bad, y'all. The Pinkwot. My bad. The Pinkwot. Right. All Negroes. Y'all niggas think they up here faking moves? They doing this shit for their health? And if some of them tell you that they was Africans because they bought into the same stories that you Pan-Africans bought into. Okay? All Negroes. So they get dressing up and shit, just looking crazy for nothing, right? They got more images of the same people. You see one European playing as an Aborigine, right? But everybody else, according to observation, which is the methodology that I'm using, right, shows and proves that these are motherfucking niggas, right? I don't think I'm gonna go further in on it. Let me see. All right, this gonna be the last source right here. I'm gonna pull up something else, but this is from the Saturday Evening Post, Philadelphia, Saturday, June 7th, 1828, nigga. 1828. 4 letters on American history by Professor Raffinquay, to Dr. J.H.M. Column of Baltimore, right? Well, check this out. All right, we go down right to this paragraph right here. It's saying Native American Negroes or Black Indians have been seen in Brazil, Guyana, Caucasus, Popayan, Coco, North California. Some of them, such as the whatever, were black with fine features. Now he's saying long hair. Okay, but guess what? If you niggas stop cutting your goddamn hair, your hair be long too, right? So AP, let Chief Holiday on the panel. So let's continue, right? All right, Chief, you get fucked my whole floor too. All right, let me start from right here. All right, it's in the results in a single but striking point doubted to this day by the superficial inquirers. It is sufficient to mention that there were in America before Columbus, it's saying, came nations and tribes following complexions copper, tawny, olive. Now he's saying dusty, dark brown, or black, right? Now you go down and say Native American Negroes and Black Indians have been seen in Brazil, Guyana. We mentioned that so some of them were black with fine features and long hair, right? Then you go down here, boom, boom, boom. It's saying many of the Negrito tribes, not black but brown, which we are all brown. None of us are black, right? It's saying yet complete Negroes with thick lips, flat noses. Now he's saying very ugly. You know, I don't know if some of you niggas is ugly, but you got a face that a mother can love, right? It's saying with hair crisp or curly. The Negro features belongs to a form of the head rather than the color, whatever. All right, we don't need to go further. But y'all get it, okay? And I'm about to wrap it up right there because I know AP got something you got to do. But the sources is there. As a matter of fact, give y'all niggas some look at real quick. And just to go along with the information that was already presented, I'm gonna show you some images, right? Now you niggas will look at this picture like that's a slave. No, it's not. That's an American Aborigine. You see, he got his feather crown, right? You see, he got his feather crown in his hand right here. This is an American Aborigine. Look how he look. Now, okay, under observation, if I had to say, well, what is a Negro doing in America? I would be curious. Why? Who would even laugh and play around and say that the people here look like that? Did we not just read articles that say that? Did we not just go through all of this? Went through trial, and you Negroes still will sit here and refute this information. When it's coming from all different levels of scholarship, it's not just no one lookership. It's dealing with literature, it's dealing with archaeology, it's dealing with book sources, as well as images to what the people said they seen when they got fucking here. Okay, and this kind of took me off my rant because I was gonna go a little bit more into the white slave thing or whatever. But anywho, this video is up. Y'all already know what it is. All right. Let me see. No, we don't need to go there. Some images. I mean, if you guys can see it, because it's not that clear. But you see Montezuma right here in the middle, right? This nigga got a beard. He look just like this nigga look like Ashford Simpson and shit. And he got a beard and everything, right? Well, that's Turtle Boy tribe right there. Which he not gonna tell you the truth about who the people were. We don't need to go there. We're gonna they even hide this shit amongst images, right? More Aborigines, right? Now check this out. Now it says the early school is saying had red and black Indian students, right? When they mix the Aborigines with these Native Americans, with the people who closely resemble China, Korea, and Japan, nigga. The original Aborigines look like who? Y'all already know, right? So, let me see something. What's this right here? Well, that's just dealing with Charles V saying he was Swazi. Do we need to look the definition of Swazi up? Because these niggas think Swazi is a different complexion. You niggas is calling yourself black, even though that when you look in the mirror, you know that you're not black. You know you're brown. But for some reason, some mechanism in your brain is allowing you to hold on to that. Oh, that's not a black person. Have you ever seen a black person? Besides some of the people in India? And besides some of the people that's in certain regions of Africa? Most people that you see are brown. And whatever the various shades of what we call copper or reddish brown, chestnut, brownish, etc., man, it's all equating the same thing. So more statues. They making all this shit up. All this shit is pseudo. All these people who got all these images of what the Americas look like was wrong. All of them. But we need some Pan-Africans who's under mental. Hold on, let me see something. All right, boom, look. Saying history of the North American Indians. The Indians are of a copper or red clay color. Okay? Look. The debate over name, black or African Americans. So niggas was questioning being either one of them terminologies, my dude. This is Carolina Living. I don't know what's the date on this or whatever, but this is just another source for you Pan-Africans that niggas was not accepting to be black or African American, period. And look how my man looking right there. He like, y'all niggas full of shit. Look at this nigga right here. Look. Look at the look on his face. Priceless. He like, yo, y'all niggas full of shit, yo. You Pan-Africans and you niggas in the chat room, y'all niggas, I ain't talking about my Aboriginal brothers and sisters, all right? We talking about the adversaries, the people who come here with constant contentions and constantly trying to make us be slaves and be Africans. Okay? This is how this brother looking at you niggas. You some lying motherfuckers, man. Right? That's almost 3 o'clock. God damn, yo. We've been rocking for a minute. Let me see what the time is on. It's 2:49. Oh, AP left. Shit, I ain't know AP. I thought AP was in the back. Chief, Chief, what up? Holiday.
Oh, I knew. Peace of the God, man. What's up, brother?
Piece of the God, bro. I thought AP was in the back and shit. I ain't know he booted. He because he about to start his
Yeah.
joint. Nah, he ain't.
Hey, man, we over here cooking, man. Cooking with Crisco, man. Cooking over here, man.
Hey man, you know,
I definitely had to come
as
in.
usual, wow, right? Yeah, how they say as usual,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, it's just nothing. That's what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's going on with you, brother? What you got to add to this, man?
Shit, man. Well, you know, man, when we talk about evidence, man, you remember one of the interviews we did with what, Dr. David Imhotep, the first PhD in ancient African studies, right? And he said one thing, he said one thing we have to go on is evidence. You know what I mean? And we ask these guys a lot of times, these naysayers, and I think they're just time wasting trolls at this point, or CIA operatives. And we know about COINTELPRO, which is working against this community, against this information getting to our people, which only makes us more determined to get it out of even more of you guys. So they're not going to stop us. So let's just get that straight through everybody's head right now.
Hey,
We've been doing this, and we were doing this before it was popular. And so we're never going to stop. So just letting y'all know that. What you say, brother?
Oh, stay right there. Khalil the dope boy. No, you live in pseudo history, nigga. We just told you everything that connects you to Africa, nigga. Right? Everything connect you to Africa is some pseudo. The other scientists do not agree with none of this shit. And you
Well,
niggas
here's the
never.
thing, though. They don't want to accept that we're scientists. They want to accept the pale skins rendition of this is our peer review group. And we're in the field with it, John. We've been doing this for decades. So some of y'all just new booties. That's fine. You don't want to put the archaeological work in. You don't want to put the paleontological work in. But here's the point. Every ology bears witness to the evidence that we've been here. And y'all can come up with all these different social constructs and misclassification that you want to. But we are Americans. The Aborigines or the copper color races of people that these fools found when they came here, period. And the science bears witness to that. Now, the contrast to that is, where are your African human skeletal remains? Where's your African civilization that predates ours here in America? Where's your African inventions? Not to shit on Africa, but it's just to tell the truth. So once again, we know that was created. It's no more debate no more. We're not debating no more about what this is. There's no debating this. At this point, we're just gonna have to just, do what we do, show and prove.
Let me ask a question.
Feel me? And we've been showing and prove.
Let me ask a question. Is it a
Who's
problem
speaking?
with this is Ghost? This is Ghost. Is it a problem
Ghost.
with the term African, or because like I feel like what they're really saying? I can't speak for everybody, but from my perspective, it seems to be Africans traveled here. We don't know how long ago. Been here, set up camp, created culture, and then by the time the Europeans come in, now they're calling these people Indian.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Let
me ask you a question, brother.
Same, I don't like.
Just a quick.
My thing is we're the same.
Hold on, brother. This is one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Right. The origin of your story. Right. Why didn't they build a culture there first? We have an older culture. No. Listen.
Might have been an expansion.
Understand what I'm saying? You're saying might. We have the evidence that we have the oldest culture, oldest civilization on the planet, brother.
What evidence the oldest on the planet?
Wait. What evidence do you need?
Pull it up.
When you ask that question, you need to know the answer to that.
Hey, my man,
just gave you evidence right now. I don't know what more you need.
Pull the evidence up in the Negro. How do we know they still didn't come from Africa?
Hey, Ghost Dog. Respectfully, I don't know how you got the link because I ain't drop it. So you asking questions that we ain't gonna answer, nigga. If I just pulled up all this information, why are you still questioning us, bro? I don't know how you even got on the platform to even ask me a question, bro.
No, it was in the chat room.
But this is a heavyweight bill. This ain't the talk show shit. This is showing improvement information. So this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This is.
Well, I was answering his questions before even answering them, man. Like, hey, brother,
because he sound like he want to be combative, and we not doing that up here.
Right. Well, once again, I don't care. But here's the problem that I have with these guys, right? So once again, You've been dropping information, right? That's that's scholastic, scholarly. That's what they need, right? Now the problem is when I asked them, and I would love to hear the answer to this: what evidence do you need for you to believe that you and your? I'm assuming that you're from here, but we're from here. I can't tell you who you are, brother. You can be whoever you want to be, right? But we're saying that we are Aborigines to this land, and that we sprung from this soil.
For
Hence,
sure.
we're on the Autonomous One's channel, brother, and we have the scientific evidence to prove that. Okay.
Got you.
Now, what evidence do you need, brother?
Let me. I didn't realize I was muted. I just want to say this respectfully. Now, I've been watching your videos for a minute, A1. I'm with the movement. I believe whatever we want to call it, Negroes, whatever. We've been in America. Since we don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to figure out how steady a ground that is, how long we've been here, because as we fill the gap in. But what I'm saying is, if you with the link you're pulling up, we figure out that we're here. Who's to say we still didn't come from Africa? Who's to say this isn't Northwest Africa, like the Moors say, the Pangea theory? You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's an issue with the term African, whatever, I get that. But
Nah,
like,
ain't
if we're
the
the same
issue.
people,
Let me help you out. Let me help you out.
culture was going to separate us. I get that too. But
All right, fam. Like when I'm
go
trying
ahead.
to, like, okay, let me help you out, bro. Let me explain something to you, right? If the pyramids in America is older than the pyramids in Egypt, right? Let's just deal with this right here. The pyramids in America are older than the pyramids in Egypt. Do you agree?
I'm not sure. Have we
All
got
right,
to
I'm
the point where
just
we
telling
can't
they
take
are. I'm
that
telling.
route,
All
though?
right, you're not sure because
Aren't
you
they?
haven't done the
I'm saying,
research,
aren't the
right?
scientists not sure on that? So we can't take that route.
Fam. Listen, I
Go
don't
ahead.
care what they can do. You using whatever science you using comes from them. So that means we don't know nothing then. So according to the science that they provided, they said that the oldest pyramids is in America. So I'm telling you this. So if you asking me questions, listen to get the answer. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the oldest pyramids are over here, right? And
If we go off what,
obviously the
if you go off
first
what you're
step,
saying, yeah.
it ain't if I go off of what I'm saying. What else we gonna go off of, my dude? What you going
If
off
we're
of?
going off of
What are
that,
you
you're saying
going
the
off of?
oldest one.
What
Okay,
are you going off of?
we'll just say that the oldest pyramids we got. Let's just say that. Keep going.
We have okay, all right. So there's no pyramids in West Africa, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen none. I haven't seen any.
Okay, all right. So the refrigerator, the stove, the table, the shoe, the motherfucking automobile. What have Africans brought to this fucking brought to us that we should be so happy to be them?
I'm not necessarily. I'm just saying that the DNA is showing that we're there.
Did you not just hear what I just read about DNA? Have you
but
not just heard what you just come up here? Did you not just hear the fucking 5 articles I just read about DNA?
I haven't been in here the whole time.
All right, fam. So you know what? You know what, fam?
Man.
All right, go ahead.
I do understand that you can't take the DNA all the way serious because they can label some of that stuff.
So it's DNA absolute. So
you
it's
can look
DNA
at
absolute.
DNA and see they label it Jewish. You can't
Stay
label
right there.
religion.
Wait, stay right there. So it's DNA absolute? Yes or no?
No, I don't think it's absolute.
Okay, so stay there. So
wait,
stay right there. So it's not absolute, right?
No, I don't think it's total.
So when you take a DNA test, do you know what part of that DNA test is not absolute?
I don't go 100% off that.
I'm asking you a question. No. I'm asking you a question.
I've seen the things where they say it's for toy and all that. I've seen y'all put the videos.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm not listening to what I'm asking you. I'm being precise with the question that I'm asking you.
Okay,
when you do a DNA test and you get your results back, right?
Okay.
Do you know what part of your results is not real and what part of it is fake?
Go ahead, tell me.
No, I don't know because they don't know.
Well, I'm just saying. Maybe this is the part I'm missing. Go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so you can say DNA not absolute, right? Check, right? We clear on that, right?
I agree that I can't. There's no way.
Okay, so DNA is not absolute. We agree on that, right? So if DNA not absolute, when a person does his DNA test, and all of these different countries and places of them telling you people that's your descendants, how do we know what's real and what's fake if it's not absolute?
I get it. I get that you got some skepticism.
So we can't even use DNA, brother. We can't even use DNA because it's not absolute.
Okay, well, what about West African migrations?
What migration did West Africa make to America?
So we do know about the Abu Bakari thing. And
No, we
have
don't know
necessary
about that.
evidence.
No, we don't. We
We
don't
have
know
a
about
story,
that.
and we do have
No,
somebody coming back from that.
you have a story.
We just don't have
I
evidence
don't,
of them landing here.
fam. Listen, my dude.
But why would they
You,
even go over there in the first place? They
fam,
heard
listen,
stories about it to begin with.
my man. Listen, brother. Listen.
I'm just saying.
All right, listen. Let's listen to this. Right. Check this out. All you have to understand is America had the greatest empire that ever existed. Wasn't nobody just pulling up on our fucking shores like we was some sucker MCs. Like when you go to O Block. So when you go to O Block, can you just pull up at O Block, nigga? Or can you pull up in anywhere? The Fifth Ward? Can you pull up in Compton? Can you pull up anywhere where Negroes is at? And if you don't know them,
I agree, but if you get there, ain't nothing there.
We not, brother. It ain't how they telling you ain't nothing here when we got civilizations in America in North Carolina that goes back 50,000 years.
Okay, so how did they start?
I can say something to you one
That's
second.
what I'm saying. We still don't know the information.
You don't know. You know, hey, but you know what? Hey, my dude.
Wait.
My dude, I appreciate you for coming up here, man. Nah, he out of here. I appreciate him for coming up here, man. You go back and look at the DNA part that I just put up.
A1.
Yeah.
Real fast. I don't know who this is right. Who is this right here? Let me see who this is.
It's Calvin. That 7 Peace. What's up, brother?
Calvin Peace. Hey, go ahead, brother. You just got it. You got it, brother. I digress.
Go ahead. I will let you finish.
Now go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Because Chief won't be up here with me. So go ahead.
Well, I agree with like a lot of stuff you say, and it's some stuff that only if you got like 2 seconds, because people saying stuff about what's old, what's not old over here. If you go on Google Map on your phone right now, I can show you something that'll blow your mind. A1.
You can elaborate on it. I don't really.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is it'll blow your mind because it's something that ain't been talked about. But
so go ahead, talk about it.
Talk about what I'm saying. And I'm in Miami, and you look at if you look on the map, and you look at any lake in Florida, it's a pyramid in every lake. And a mound.
I didn't get the bills on that, brother. I just did the bill.
But when you look in Lake Okeechobee, that's a whole different thing. It's like a ziggurat. It's a ziggurat. You can see the whole structure, like the whole flow plan. All you gotta do is just zoom in from, you know what I'm saying? Google
Put that shit in the back chat, bro. Put that shit in the back chat. I'm gonna do some research on it. You got my email? Listen, if you got my email, brother, when I do the research, email me and I'll let you present it yourself. You can present it yourself. I'll do the research. If you got some more stuff, brother, my email is on the ticket. No,
I got every from 1 BC to 1400. I got all the kings in North America.
Hey, all right, brother. So we need you to provide that information to the people, my dude. You know what I'm saying? You the teacher. You teaching me something. So I'm the scholar. I'm the scholar right now. I'm listening to a person teaching me something that I don't know.
I want to say that this is something that I know because I do my genealogy. You know what I'm saying? So I did my genealogy and it skipped across. You know what I'm saying? Ireland, Scotland, all that. So everybody else over here though, but one of my grandmas just took me over there. So I'm doing all that. It took me back to all these royals. So I'm like, what was all this about? So I'm going around, and at the end of the day, when it came back to America in 1 BC, you can look it up. You said something that's so important today. You said the Aboriginals, and you read the definition, and then you said the Romans and their ancestors. In 1 BC, the Romans came over here, but they was the Romani, the how you say, you just said Rhode Island, the Red Mine. They was already over here, and they went over there, and they came back over here in 1 BC.
Exactly. See, listen, my dude. See, this is the part that's freaking most people out. Because they got the connotative definition and meaning of what an Indian is. You looking at Native Americans, primitive people. You like, oh, well, how would these people be able to transverse? And now you doubting yourself too. So it's Aborigines who doubt this information.
So when you look at Quetzalcoatl, he comes from North America. The Toltecs come from North America.
Yes, that's a fact.
The Toltecs was in Arizona. They was in Alabama, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Heavy. Tennessee, the whole southeast coast. I got all the facts and all the writings. Everything matched. But when it comes to the King's List. The dates go all the way up to 1450, and 1100,
Yeah.
another group came over from Ireland, and they came over in 1170. His name was Madoc, not Zadok, but Madoc, Prince Madoc. You know what I'm saying? But he came over
Hey,
and
brother.
was good.
Peace to you, brother. You said something. I don't want you to go past it, right? You said something about the 1400s, correct?
Yep.
Now, the brother said something that we have older pyramids here in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's thousand. You feel me? That's older than 1400 is AD. That's new. So when we're talking about pyramid structures, and we're talking about skeletal remains that go back thousands of years here in North America, right? Central and South America and conjoining islands. Now, here's my point, right? Do you think that we were doing all this building and agriculture and all the things that we consistently for years been providing evidence of, right?
You said,
Do that without communication. Do you think we did that without communication, brother?
I mean, across the whole planet?
No, I'm here in America, bro.
You saying were we able to communicate across the whole America?
Do you think we did all this building without being able to communicate?
Well, I don't even know what you're really trying to ask when you're saying doing this building.
I mean, I'm just saying
he's
it's a
saying
simple
did we
question.
do all the but no, what he's saying, but Chief, he's saying that we left from over here and went over there. So he's saying the same. He ain't saying that.
We have evidence of that. Yeah, but they don't. They're telling the stories that they came here. I'm dealing with something else. I'm talking about communication. Did we build all this stuff thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago here in America that we can prove without being able to communicate? This is for everybody. The point
we was able to communicate.
We was able to communicate, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So that means that we were communicating and building before, brother. We were communicating and building before everybody else on the planet was. That's what we're telling you guys. I'm not going to tell you where the first man came from in China, nothing like that, but I'm going to tell you that we sprung from this soil. That's what the science is talking about. So once again, when there's an agenda that's created by the CIA, by COINTELPRO, by the Ghetto Information Agency and everything else, and these dudes keep pushing it, then what are we doing right now? And you might be pushing it because you went to the university that's funded by the CIA. You understand that? And these books and stuff that not a coincidence we keep pulling out, these are rewrites. What you call them, brother? Remix singles?
Everything else.
Brother, what are you saying right now?
No, I was saying that everything
what?
That I'm speaking, everything that I'm speaking from.
I can't hear you, brother. You're super low.
One mic.
You're super low, man. I can't hear it. Man.
Hold up.
Oh, turn it up. I can't hear it, man.
Hold up, Chief. He ain't out. Chief, he agreeing with what we saying, brother. He ain't no Pan-African. You hear me? He not a Pan-African.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
He came from the Americas.
And I got archaeology proof.
He ain't got no contention with nothing we saying. He adding to what we saying.
Right. I'm saying though, like a lot of the conversations,
like,
though,
I don't want it to be a
but even when we went there though, we still had to communicate. That's what I'm saying to the brother. Like we still had communication. So a lot of times they're telling us that they brought us they brought us language. They didn't. And a lot of the artifacts, I don't know if you have, we could speak on that.
I ain't really good at the back chat.
Damn, you super low. I can't hear. I'm on mute.
I ain't really too good at Sam and Strainer. Really did that before, but if y'all got in there, you could just type it in and pop right up. You know what I'm saying? You can, and it's verifiable. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you know about like you all right, A1. You know when you ever heard when they came over to Jamestown, like the Powhatan, they spoke fluent Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And because the Spanish already came, so they know how to speak Spanish, but they were speaking Latin.
Yeah.
So they
ain't no the Spanish. But look, hold up. The Spanish would have been Moors. Can you hear me, bro? Do we got a delay or something? I don't know. Can you hear me?
Clear. Yeah.
The Spanish would have been Moors, brother. When whoever came here in 1492 was niggas. It wasn't no Spanish people who we think. It was other niggas that came here. And see what they doing is they're using that fact. So what they doing is they're using that fact to make you think of modern day Spanish people coming here doing and not even doing nothing because they didn't have the authority or the power to come over here and do what the fuck they said they was doing over here. They didn't have the power. They didn't have the power. No fucking 4 or 5 ships pull up going beat a whole fucking empire of people who had a fucking trade all the way from Canada all the way to Peru and all the way
They
throughout the
came over
land
for
of
a
flowers
reason.
and all the way through what we call them. It ain't even they came, they was brought over here, bro. The people that came over here was Catholics who was other Moors or other Negroes that was originally from here. So the whole thing, they used these Europeans as pawns and funded them. So it's other Negroes who is responsible for the shit that we doing now. And they use these Europeans as pawns. The Pope is not the real Pope. The real Pope you will never see because he looked just like you. And they using these Europeans. They running the Rothschilds are ran by a royal family from Rome who are Negroes. They use these Europeans as pawns. They made them convert to Christianity. They made, you know what I'm saying, the Knights of Golden Circle ain't no different. The KKK ain't no different from the Knights of Templar. The Cross of Santiago. They got the same goddamn Celtic cross. The same shit. They ain't nothing but a group of people who has been formed and been propagated and promoted by Christianity or Catholicism, which goes back to Rome, goes back to the original people of Rome was Negroes, and the people who running everything now are Negroes, and they put these Europeans in place as pawns to make us convert to Christianity and Catholicism. But then again, when you even go further with that, they run Islam or Orthodox Islamic, right? And they run Judaism, right? And they run Catholicism and Christianity, which you got a bunch of different sects that falls up under them as well. You understand what I'm saying? All of that shit is ran by Rome. All of it's ran by Rome. Now, I'm not telling you the original spiritualities that we was doing goes into that, but it's like it's pagan worshiping. It's going outside yourself. You got the energy.
Like we just
I don't
said
even want to get all into that, but I got to go because AP. I think AP. Yeah. Now go ahead. End it on what you want to say, my brother.
I was just saying, you said pagan worship is like a flip. What really is like what they made us do worship in this Christianity. That's really the pagan worship when you look at it. Like trying to be a Christian and do walk that walk.
But they ain't
that's
even
like
make you because they got you. They got you. Listen, look. Think of it like this. Think of it like this. I'm gonna give you I'm out of here after this, right? So when you go to Christianity, right? Who's the god of Catholicism? Mary, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary, right?
Yeah.
Mary is Moru. Moru is M-U-R-U. All you can go check that out. Mary come from Moru, right? So when you get into Jesus dealing with Christianity, who is Jesus? Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, Amoru.
I got the
Amoru is Jesus, and Moru is Mary, which all go back to all of the Abrahamic religions are all connected. Peace. Shout out to the Moors, man. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to the guys. I got to get up out of here, man. But with that being said, man, peace to my brother, Chief Holiday, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to the brother channel, go subscribe to Chief Holiday channel. You know what I'm saying? We had these conversations on a regular. But with that being said, man, I got to spin. But peace to God, Calvin Pace. Email me, my brother. Please do.
I got you. I'm email
me because I like to elaborate on some of this information. No doubt. Peace to everybody in the chat room. Oh, matter of fact, here I'm gonna put it. Just stay on the panel when I am end it, and I'll give it to you. Then just stay. I'm about to end it in a minute. But shout out to everybody in the chat room. Peace to all the guys. Peace to all the goddesses. Shit. Fuck all the Pan-Africans. You know, flat earthers. I'm gonna give you a break. At the end of the day, peace to all my brothers and sisters who flat earthers or who believe that the earth is not a global sphere like they've been showing us. Peace to gods, peace to goddesses, peace to Aborigines, North, South, Central, as well as the conjoined islands. It's your brother Hanukiel, aka A1, aka Thompson's one. With that being said, peace.